practice has morphed into the
Good
fire
morning,
station.
everyone.
To
Good
all
morning. Good morning.
patients, please be assured that you will continue to receive
Welcome
the
to
same
the
quality
show,
and
everyone.
personalized care that you are accustomed to. We will be located at Atlantic
If you're
Avenue
new here,
in
make sure
Williamsburg,
you
in the
subscribe.
Joseph's
Hold on, I
Market
gotta move the
Shopping
camera just
Center,
a hair.
directly
There we
across
go.
from the Delray Marketplace. Call me at my new office number, 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893. Have you ever picked up...
Welcome. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. Click that notification bell. My name's Brian, and we broadcast live on the radio, on a whole bunch of radio stations, and AM, and when we're on the radio, we also live, of course, are welcome to call us live on the air, too.
Kane, K-A-N-E, at checkout. Go to MyPillow.com. Click on the radio listener specials. MyPillow products come with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. To get the buy one, get one free on a 6-piece set off MyPillow towels, just go to MyPillow.com.
Here we go.
Click the radio listener special and enter the
Hey, everybody,
code
like the video,
Kane
all right?
at checkout.
Like it.
Call them directly.
Here we go.
1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. That's MyPillow.com. Promo code K-A-N-E. Kane.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FAA-3782.
5 o'clock shadow. I think it'd be more like 5 a.m. shadow, wouldn't it?
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE. That's 1-888.
Hey guys, welcome to the program. I'm Brian Craig. That's right, that's my name. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Welcome one and all. So much going on, so much happening. Oh man, I've been telling you guys lately that everyone's getting all jazzed up about Governor Cuomo, Andrew Cuomo, and that Andrew Cuomo was going nowhere. That's right, he's going nowhere, and the way things are looking today, Andrew Cuomo may even be reelected with an overwhelming number of votes, because there's a new poll out of New York. The vast majority of New Yorkers stand by Governor Cuomo. So they're satisfied with his what he's doing. There's a new poll, Siena College Research Institute. Voters say Cuomo should not resign by a margin of 50 to 35%. So the vast majority of voters in New York, which is the only people he cares about, are standing by him. This is it. Listen to this. They say he can effectively do his job of governor despite investigations. 48 say yes to 34%. 35% say Governor Cuomo has committed sexual harassment. 24% say he's not. And voters are satisfied with the way Andrew Cuomo has addressed the allegations. 57% say they're satisfied with how he's doing it, how he's handling things. New Yorkers positive about Cuomo's pandemic performance, with one exception. The strong majority gives Cuomo negative grades on the nursing home death data, 43 to 45. So that's like almost evenly split. And by the way, the margin of error, that's within the margin of error. They're not even upset by a majority of the nursing home crisis. 74% of voters, including half of Republicans, support the new relief law signed by Biden, which we're not really getting into. But this is amazing. Listen to this. Here's the questions. I'm not big in the polls, but this one's an important poll. And what makes this poll so important is, if you follow what's going on in the media with Governor Cuomo, he is a man in crisis. I even used in my thumbnail today on YouTube that photograph of him walking outside with the blanket over him, with the beer. He looked down and out in Albany, right? Remember Down and Out in Beverly Hills? Kind of looked down and out in Albany. Well, not according to this poll. Here's the first question. Listen to this. Do you approve or disapprove of the job Andrew Cuomo is doing to address the pandemic? 60% approve. This is recent. This is this week. Keep in mind, the nursing home and all that's part of that, right? On specific issues related to Governor Cuomo's handling, communicating with the people of New York, 62% approval. Making public all data related to the nursing home patients, 66% approve of that, even though there was a story from staff members who say that they cooked the books that they gave to the Fed. Still 66% are supporting him. So, this is a long poll. I'm not going to read through this long poll and break down the data and everything to you. We'll just talk about it a little bit. See, this is a very frustrating thing. Very frustrating thing to conservatives. Because conservatives are held to a saintly standard even when they've done nothing wrong. Scandal is built up around them. Investigations are taking place. Special counsels are appointed. Hearings are set up that are televised nationally. Panels on the news call for them to step down, resign, be removed, and they haven't even done anything. That's when you're dealing with the Republican. Democrats typically have complete immunity. And, this thing with Cuomo, which we were talking a little bit yesterday, which I was not all that aware of. Wasn't really aware of this. I think I heard it before and just forgotten that his children are the grandchildren of Bobby Kennedy. That's pretty closely related. His ex-wife is Bobby Kennedy's daughter. One of his, Bobby Kennedy have 7 kids? So he's a Kennedy. He's in the Kennedy family, even though they're divorced. His kids are Kennedys. And I know some people say, well, Schwarzenegger, that was a little removed. This is closer. This is actually Bobby. All right? So that's, nothing is happening to Cuomo. Now, that doesn't mean that the news should not report what's going on with the nursing home issue. But the more and more that they come out with the allegations made by females, the stronger the support he has, unless they come out with something big, because, scandals involving harassment by people typically involve 2 things. 1, a married man, which he's not. He's a swinging single, Governor Cuomo. And 2, pay for play, which is what Harvey Weinstein was offering. Harvey Weinstein was telling people, unless you did this and that, you're not going to get a job in this town. And he did it. He came. He wasn't just threatening. He actually did it. So with Cuomo, he's single, and 2, there was no do this and you'll get that job. There was none of that. So the stories coming out with women and Andrew Cuomo, quite honestly, they're not that bad, are they? I know a lot of us, we don't like Cuomo, and a lot of people, for very good reason, are upset with Governor Cuomo over the nursing home scandal. And I think what's happening is a lot of the channeling over frustration that the nursing home scandal is going nowhere. A lot of that frustration is being transferred to basically a story of a single man who's looking for a girlfriend. In a very desperate, sad attempt. It seems that he's rejected at each and every turn. Doesn't it? We haven't heard any of these stories that have, amounted to anything other than him being rejected. Why do you think all these girls are rejecting Cuomo? He's governor of a big state. He's famous. He's rich. He's powerful. Why is Governor Cuomo being rejected by all these women? That I don't know. But, I was talking on my podcast last night, and then an interesting thing, I don't know. Why do you guys, I'll open up the phones. Why are these women rejecting Governor Cuomo? He must be really frustrated by that. And I imagine he's embarrassed that all these are stories of rejection that he's faced. He's a very arrogant guy, so he's got to be embarrassed by that, I would think, knowing his personality. He's not embarrassed by the scandal because he doesn't think there's a scandal, and maybe there's not. I'm talking about with the women. He's embarrassed by the fact that each and every story is a story of rejection. I was talking on my podcast last night about this. Biden and Kamala Harris haven't said too much about this, and Biden said, let the investigation go on, let's find out what's happening here. See, this really fits in very well for Biden and Kamala, because what's going on at the southern border is a disaster. What's happening at the southern border is a national disgrace. You know, there's only been a couple of times where I've seen things that are just totally wrong. I mean, completely should not happen. And what's happening at the southern border right now should not be happening. The last time I saw something that bad is when I went to Belgrade for the day. Big mistake on a Saturday here in Florida. Oh my goodness. Belgrade, people should not, in America, no one should live in the conditions that people live in Belgrade, Florida. And those of you here in South Florida, you may know of Belgrade. I will warn you this, never go there. Daytime or nighttime. It's a terrible place, and it's an embarrassment. And that's in the same county as Mar-a-Lago. It's crazy. I know. Talk about different ends of the spectrum, different ends of the county. But what's going on at the southern border is a national disgrace. And the White House know this. And this endless discussion of, trying to get Jen Psaki to call it a crisis. We don't need Jen Psaki to call it a crisis to know that it's a crisis. But, I was talking to you guys about this yesterday, and we got sidetracked on some other things. We didn't get to talk about it. But what's happening at the southern border is a crisis, even if Jen Psaki won't say it. And what the White House, what they're doing here is very sophisticated liberal politicking. One, this Cuomo story helps them a lot, because what's going on with Cuomo's like under siege from the media right now, because the mainstream media are based out of New York, so Cuomo's their governor. So they're more interested in Governor Cuomo than people elsewhere, because the media live in New York. So they're making a big deal about it. And what the Cuomo story does is takes a little bit of the pressure off of Biden for both the southern border and not having a press conference. They're not even hardly talking about that anymore. But what's going on at the southern border, which I mentioned to you guys yesterday, I didn't hear anyone bring this up yesterday in any of the news that I saw. And what the White House is doing is allowing a crisis to build and build and build right out of the Cloward and Piven strategy, overwhelm the system, which is what's happening right now with the southern border. And then when the system collapses, the system is willing to give you whatever you want, because they have to fix something, they have to fix it yesterday, right? So what's happening at the southern border is a disgrace, it's a national embarrassment. But it's being allowed to happen. This is by design. This is politicking. This is politicking. And they can blame Trump all day and all night for what's going on there. We didn't have this problem with Trump. And they keep pointing to, 2017 or 2019, when there was a peak. When the wall construction went underway, there was a rush, because they were trying to rush before the wall started going up. And I was watching on Fox News yesterday some drone footage of the southern border, and they were showing the wall gaps. And the gaps are about as wide as, a football field is long in some of these areas, because it hasn't been completed. And they could complete that. The areas that are not completed are not that difficult to build, and they won't do it. And the reason they won't do it is many, many reasons. First and foremost, because they don't want to complete Trump's wall. They're just not going to let that happen. And they'll never let that happen. Now listen, we're going to take our first break of the day. When we get back, there's a lot more to talk about. Do not go anywhere. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. We'll be back right after this.
You've heard Steve Kane talk about the great work and the incredible prices at Dr. Gupta's Brighton Dental. Richie the bus driver called Steve Kane on the air and told him about his experience at Brighton Dental.
Good morning. I have to talk about Brighton Dental because your sponsor is a miracle worker. I broke my tooth. I fractured it and it went backwards in my mouth.
Oh my
front top tooth. I put it back into the socket. It felt like it was falling out. I had pain. I couldn't even eat spaghetti. And I was going to a wedding in New York 2 days later, and I said, what am I going to do, And the dentist here wanted to charge me $120 just to look at it and to tell me he couldn't do anything. I went to Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. I traveled 139 miles. I would do it again in a heartbeat, each way. Okay, the man sat and worked on my tooth for 2 hours, put a pin in it, put it back in place, I could eat anything I want. He said it was temporary. He did such a great job. It feels like permanent. I have no pain. I can eat anything I want now. And the fact of the matter, this is what really was unbelievable. I was getting on the bus to go to the reception, okay, in New York City. He knew I was in New York. The phone rings. Who do you think's on the line?
Dr. Gupta.
Right. He wants to see if everything is going okay and if I'm in any pain. The guy is unbelievably wonderful. I mean, thank you so much. I wouldn't have been able to eat. I wouldn't have been able to go. I would have looked like a pumpkin.
Everybody needs a great dentist, and of course, for you Steve Kane listeners, you have one, Dr. Gupta, and he's been over there at Brighton Dental. He takes really good care of you. He's very conscientious. He's, dentistry is an art when you stop and you think about it. And Dr. Gupta certainly is an artist, and we're so pleased to have him with us.
Yeah, I just wanted them to know if you need a dentist, and the guy is so good at what he does, he's so gentle, and I mean, I don't like dentists. This guy is this top shelf, and I'm going down to him to get it permanently put in, but right now, I don't have any pain. I can eat anything I want. Incredible.
Take Richie the bus driver's advice and go see Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. Call 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, guys, welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977, our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. I'm not a fan of The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. I don't watch either of these shows. I have seen them, but I don't watch them. I don't like them either. I think they're absurd. I do like that Bachelor in Paradise show, though. I do watch that sometimes, although I've not watched it in a while, but I do like that. You know what I'm talking about when they go to... I like that one, because it's more scandalous. But anyway, The Bachelor, they had their finale. And this is relevant to what's going on, this cancel culture. Here's the headline. The Bachelor ends in chaos. First black lead, Matt James. So Matt, he's the first African-American Bachelor. And, for the past few years, people have been attacking ABC for not being woke enough. Like, when are you going to have a black Bachelor? So they have a black Bachelor now. The Bachelor ends in chaos. First black lead, Matt, chooses Rachel in pre-recorded finale, then reveals that he dumped her because of racist plantation pictures that emerged after the production had finished. Okay. This time we're living in this country right now, this cancel culture that's going on with everything, right? Sharon Osbourne at The View, and by the way, the host of The Bachelor has been fired. Piers Morgan over in the UK, the Dr. Seuss we were talking about. The list, it goes on and on and on. This cancel culture, and what has happened to this girl Rachel on The Bachelor? She has been so slandered. It's insane. And for those that don't know, which I imagine is most of you in this audience, because you don't follow The Bachelor. I don't either, but I've been following this news story. It came out a few weeks ago that she's one of the finalists on The Bachelor, Rachel, who went to the University of Georgia, that she had some pictures on social media of her at a sorority event at a plantation in Georgia. And then there was some to do, I can't remember if she tweeted or retweeted or liked a photograph of some people on Twitter with the Confederate battle flag behind her. And they started calling her a racist. And it was blowing up that she was a racist because of this picture that she liked on Twitter that had a Confederate flag in it, and while at the University of Georgia, went to a sorority event at a plantation. And the host of the Bachelor was on an interview and was asked about it and said, hey, listen, let's just take a break. Don't assume that she's a racist. They're researching her whole family now. Just, give the girl a break and let's see what's going on here. He's been fired for the same reason they're going to fire Sharon Osbourne, because he didn't join the mob and get into the cancel call. He didn't even do anything racist or say anything or approve of anything. Just like Sharon Osbourne, the Bachelor host, He just didn't properly cancel her. So because he didn't condemn her enough, it's as if he's a racist and said racist things and did racist things, and he's out at The Bachelor. Now, this story is going to be all over the news today about this girl who is no racist. First off, she went to a sorority event while in college at a plantation. She went to the University of Georgia. Georgia is filled with plantations. They're, at this point in time, they are not slave plantations. They are probably not even working plantations. What plantations are, the ones that are in existence today and open in Georgia, are tourist traps, some of them, right? Tourists go to take a tour of a plantation. So they're tourist plantations, basically. Or they're places that people rent out for special events, like a sorority party or a wedding or something like that. You know what I mean? A corporate event, something like that. There are all kinds of plantations. Not all plantations are slave plantations. And in America today, there are no working and operating slave plantations. Okay? Mount Vernon, General Washington's home, is a plantation. It is not currently a slave plantation, although during his time it was. So she didn't go to a slave plantation. She went to a sorority event at a plantation. That's a place that you run out for any, like I say, weddings or something like that. But here's the absurdity of it. They're calling her a racist. And this cancel culture has gotten so out of control beyond imagination. And what's happened to this girl, Rachel, from The Bachelor, is a very similar thing that happened to Nick Sandmann by the mainstream media. Okay? Remember Nick Sandmann? They said he was a racist, which he wasn't, and he was vindicated and everything else. This girl Rachel from The Bachelor, even the first black bachelor says she's a racist and broke up with her about it. The idea that she's a racist is the most absurd idea that I've heard in a long time. She is a white girl, right? She's white. She is on a nationally televised game show. Keep in mind, The Bachelor, Survivor, these are game shows. They're just not like, as obvious as Jeopardy or Wheel of Fortune or something. She's a white girl on a nationally televised game show on network television, competing against other women to marry a black man. She wins. He proposes to her on national television, and she's agreeing to marry him. If she were a racist, now make sense of this for me. I want to hear you guys explain to me where I'm wrong about this. If this girl on The Bachelor was really a racist, like they're saying, and they're portraying her as really a hardcore one at that, would she be on national television competing with other women for the chance to win the hand in marriage of an African American man on ABC television? It doesn't make sense. Now, if she refused to appear on The Bachelor because they had a black bachelor, then maybe you could talk. But she's competing on television against many other women for the whole world to see, her family and friends, to marry a black man. Now, how can she be a racist in a situation like that? She's not looking to just hook up with some guy. She's looking to marry the guy on TV and going through all kinds of pathetic, desperate events on TV, the rose ceremonies and all this stuff. It's humiliating. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And if you think about it that way, and no one in the news has picked up on this, and everyone in the media, including Fox News and all the rest, and Newsmax and One American News, they're all going to talk about this today, this Bachelor thing, because it's been a big story for weeks, and now we've got the final episode was last night, and I don't think anyone's going to point out what I just pointed out because no one's done it yet. The dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Next to someone calling me a racist with an interracial family, or Steve Kane a racist with his interracial family. It's ridiculous. Now, another thing about this, So she's competing to marry a black man, this white girl, but she's a racist, which is absurd. But the whole show is shallow. People pick people on these shows like The Bachelor and The Bachelorette based on all kinds of things that they like and dislike. And no one chooses anyone on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette based on anything but looks. Okay, looks are the primary thing in all these shows, and people have preferences, and people are attracted to different things and different types of people and all kinds of things. It's a whole competition about shallowness, and my goodness. So I don't know anything about this girl, but I do know this: she's not a racist, and the evidence of that is that she's competing on national television against many other women to marry a black man. My goodness. Gee whiz. What is going on in this country today? Our number toll free 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631 1-888-465-2631. You know, the swamp is after Mike Lindell, and we're not going to let that happen. You know, last night Mike Lindell announced on Newsmax TV that joining his legal team is the great Alan Dershowitz. You know, Mike Lindell, they're out. The swamp is out to cancel Mike Lindell. There's no getting around it. And there was a story last week I shared with you. It was the first story on his new social media platform. Remember, we were talking about his new social media platform last week. And it was Mike Lindell. It was the first story on it. And it was a detailed story about the social media network that he is working on. And then at the bottom of the story, I read this to you on the air last week, the reporter put a private email, a confidential, safe, secure email address, and said that if you have any information, which means dirt, gossip, slanders, on Mike Lindell, this is a safe and secure email where you can email anonymous. And the reporter even said, do not use corporate email. Use a private, secure one. They are after Mike Lindell like nobody's business. They kicked him out of at least 20 major retailers like JCPenney's, Bed Bath & Beyond, Kohl's, and others. He's involved in a major lawsuit coming after him for his support of Trump. They got another lawsuit threat against him because he's coming up and releasing a social media alternative. I was sharing that information with you yesterday. And we're not going to let the swamp bring down the great Mike Lindell. And the way we're not going to do that is we're going to support his company. You know, basically his company. It's almost, when you buy MyPillow products, it's becoming almost in a way a legal defense fund for Mike Lindell, who is I understand he's a successful man, and financially he's been well off, right, through his creation, but he's up against people that are a lot wealthier than he is, and there's a lot more of them. He's dealing with the same type of thing President Trump was dealing with, and President Trump was the president of the United States, and look how that difficult was for him. Now, go to MyPillow.com. There is something at MyPillow.com for everyone, okay? Mother's Day's coming up, and moms include not just your mom, but your grandmother. It includes your wife. It includes even your daughter, if your daughter has children. So a mother isn't just your mother. There's a lot of people on that Mother's Day list, and there is something for everyone, including every mom, at MyPillow.com. And when you use the promo code Kane at checkout, there are just incredible, incredible deals. 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper, which comes in all sizes from twin all the way up to California king. The MyPillow pet beds for the pet parents out there, just $19.99 with the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. The premium MyPillow, just $29.98. Regular price is $69.98, but with the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, just $29.98. The MyPillow throw blankets, these are absolutely amazing. 30% off with the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. The MyPillow two-piece pajama set, 30% off with the promo code Kane. The loungewear sets from MyPillow, 30% off with the promo code Kane, Kane, at checkout. And there's a lot of other items there, including the brand new MyPillow My Slippers. Come in multiple sizes, multiple colors, multiple styles for both men and women. Save 40% off. Oh my goodness, they raised it. 40% off the MyPillow My Slippers with the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. And by the way, 30% off that MyPillow mattress topper. You also receive 2 for free premium standard MyPillows when you order the mattress topper and use the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, Kane. Do not let the swamp stop the great Mike Lindell. We'll be right back.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beat. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
This is Steve Kane for attorney Barry Siegel. Barry did a great job for me and my family when we needed a revocable living trust. Listen to one of our listeners, Ray, talk about his experience with Barry Siegel.
I want to praise Barry Siegel. And one of the most important things about sponsors is integrity. You have to know that you're dealing with an honest person. I had to go up to Myrtle Beach with my sister because her husband died, and I was helping her out. She had a trust and everything. She had not revised this trust since 1997. And you know, Barry says every 3 years at least you gotta. I called Barry's office because I had a question.
Great, Elaine. That's awesome.
I said, look, I'm calling from South Carolina. I know the laws are different, and I'm just asking.
Well, thank you, Chris.
For my sister. Now, you know, most people just blow you off, right? You know, almost immediately, within a few minutes, Barry himself called me. I asked
awesome, Cheryl.
And he answered. He was very patient. I was quite a while with him, and talked about a lot of things, you know, and this and that. But I wanted to say, you know, character, integrity, these are the most important things with sponsors, and all of your sponsors, because I've dealt with a lot of them. They all have that you can trust them and you know you're getting a fair shake.
Do what Ray did. Call attorney Barry Siegel right now. Toll free 1-855-FLA-3782. That's 1-855 toll free FLA-3782. Tell them Steve sent you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, welcome back, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. It is 35 minutes after 6 o'clock in the morning, Tuesday morning. This is Florida's longest-running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. You know, we talk a lot about cancel culture for good reason, because it's a big problem in this country today. It's getting way, way out of control. They're not only canceling people who say racist things, which may be appropriate or inappropriate depending on the situation, but people that hear it and don't properly condemn them. It's as if they said it. It's crazy what's going on. And a lot of it we talk about. Conservatives are the ones who are always talking about this and complaining about snowflakes and millennials. And I got a lot to complain about. I don't care for millennials at all. I mean, it's a very strange generation. But I'll tell you, the most judgmental people that I've encountered and lately are not Democrats, or not millennials, or not snowflakes, or whatever you want to call them. You know what they are? Conservatives on YouTube who leave comments on videos. I'm just going to read a couple videos. I read my comments. You guys leave me all kinds of comments on my YouTube videos. Some of them are very pleasant, and a lot of them are not. I just read a couple that I just saw this morning. I was just looking over during the break, And you can read through my comments. There's some that I'm sure that are far worse than this. But listen to this. Brand new listener here. I've been listening to you for a bit. You are respectable. Oh, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yes, I'm respectable. Offering many good and positive insights. More often than not, I agree with you. However, isn't there always a however? However. And I love this. This is right out of the corporate manual, right? Tell people, give the I likes and then what I don't like, right? However, you can be snide. What? However, you can be a snide, catty beta male. And it's terrible because it detracts from your overall message. Can I be a snide, catty beta male? Let me look up the textbook definition of snide. Snide. I've never been called snide before. Snide, derogatory or mocking in an indirect way. Well, yeah, that's yeah. I can be that way. Yeah, I can be derogatory and mock in an indirect way when I'm talking to a caller about issues. That's called humor and part of being a radio talk show host. Okay, there's another definition though for snide: devious and underhanded. For example, a snide divorce lawyer. Am I devious and underhanded? I don't think so. I'm all over. I'm on the radio. I podcast. I'm on the videos here on YouTube. I don't think I'm devious. I'm all out in the open. Here's another definition. An unpleasant or underhanded person or remark. He's not a snide. He's better than most. Well, I think they mean the first definition, derogatory or mocking in an indirect way. I can own that one. Okay, I can own that one. Okay, let me see here. What? And they said I'm a catty beta male. Now I don't get the beta male. Okay, I don't. Okay, I can say snide. Snide. I'll wear snide with honor. I might get a T-shirt that says I'm snide. Okay, but a beta male. Now here, I looked up beta male here. Two definitions. A subordinate male animal in a particular group. Am I subordinate? I don't know. Here's another one. Here's the other definition. A man tending to assume a passive or subservient role in social or professional situations. For example, there's nothing macho about him. He's a total beta male. So I'm a catty. Not macho. Subservient man? Oh my goodness. But he agrees with me more often than not. These are my YouTube comments. Here's another one. Okay, here's another one. Quit. Now, they use a word that I'm not going to use. Okay? Someone named Randy wrote this. Quit complaining. Although they used a word that starts with the letter B. Quit complaining about daylight savings time. I was talking yesterday, this time change totally screws me up. And I hate it. I like, this is daylight savings time. What do we call the other one that we just came out of? This is daylight savings time. I like the other one better. Now, I get up in the middle of the night. I get up in the middle of the night. So I have an unusual schedule. I own that. So I like it to get lighter earlier, darker. I don't like the darker earlier too. I like the old one. I don't like this daylight savings time thing. And it really yesterday threw me off a lot. And today I feel a little bit better. Although my alarm woke me up today. Because even though my alarm went off at 3:30 a.m., my body thinks it's 2:30, so, So I usually wake up before the alarm. Yesterday I was a little weirded out and out of it coming in because, I hadn't quite caught up to the new time. But anyway, this is what Randy wrote. Quit complaining, using a little bit of profanity, mild profanity that starts with the letter B that I'm not going to say. Quit complaining about daylight savings time because unlike you people, people with real jobs prefer it. The majority. Because we have plenty of daylight after work to get things done. Especially in South Florida, where there are a lot of outdoor activities. We don't just sit in the house like you and watch the news. Is that what you think I do? I'm a catty beta male who's snide, who just sits in front of the TV and watches the news all day? Oh my goodness, there are people in this audience that have a very low opinion of me. I could go on with this all day, but I'm not. But these, you can read through my YouTube comments or leave them. I mean, you know, and it's so interesting because when we talk about... I know. By the way, I let all these comments go. I could delete these comments. I don't delete them. In fact, I'm gonna give that one a thumbs up and a heart and like it. The guy that said about the daylight savings time. And you know what? I'll do the same thing with the guy that said that I'm a catty beta male. Okay. But oh my goodness. But it's really funny to me, and there's stuff that's much worse than that, I'm sure, which I'll share with you from time to time. But you know, I find it so interesting how judgmental conservatives tend to be. At the same time that they're complaining about cancel culture. You can't have it both ways. You can't be complaining about cancel culture and then be trying to cancel out people. You know, it's ridiculous. You know, I'm not going to get sidelined on this too much because I talked about this on my podcast on Friday. Do you know what the biggest complaint I get from listeners to this program? The biggest complaint. What do you think it is? Think about. I'm not going to troll for calls on this. Okay, just think about it for a second. There's a complaint about this program, me in particular, that I get every single day on this show. Every single day. From not one person, but from a lot of people. It's that I drink Starbucks coffee in the morning. This drives a lot of conservatives in this audience nuts. Nuts. Now, I talked about this in detail on my podcast on Friday. So I'm not going to do it in detail right now. But the reason I drink Starbucks coffee is, one, I'm addicted to coffee. I've been drinking coffee since I was 18, since I started working full-time. I got out of high school. And the coffee I get has 4 shots of espresso in it. Okay? And if I don't have this, if I did not have, I'm a little more than halfway through this cup that I started drinking right before showtime today. Okay? Then I'll go over to my bottled water. But if I didn't have, I'm so addicted to coffee, if I didn't have this, I would go through withdrawals that would make me not even functional on the air. And when I come to work in the morning, there's nowhere else to get espresso like this on the way in. The only places you can get coffee at the hours of the morning that I come in, that are on my way to work, and I don't have time to be driving all over town, are 7-Eleven and other gas stations and Dunkin' Donuts, and their coffee is weak. It's not as good as this. And I'll tell you another thing too. It cost me $3.70 a cup for the venti, the largest one they have. 4 shots of espresso, and every 3 cups or so that I buy, they give me a free one. So it's a pretty good deal. I get 1 free one a week. But I hear from so many conservatives about me drinking Starbucks coffee. It drives them nuts. One guy, I went to Starbucks. Doesn't want me to go, but he went to Starbucks, and the girl that helped him had a Black Lives Matter thing on her t-shirt. I know. And it was Gay History Month. They had the rainbow flags everywhere going on recently. I don't care about the politics when I'm getting my coffee. But it's interesting that the people that are have legitimate points on the out-of-control cancel culture, my conservative friends, my MAGA brothers and sisters out there, right? Because we're MAGA brothers and sisters, no doubt about that. But my MAGA family, they want to cancel me out because I drink Starbucks and I'm a snide, catty beta male who likes the sun to come up a little earlier. You know, gee whiz. You know, a lot of these conservatives, they sound like millennial snowflakes, don't they? All right, let's take our last break of the first hour. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. If you are on hold, don't go anywhere. We'll go to the phones after the break. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE1. We'll be right back.
This is George Corey of the Soul Authority. In this time of social distancing and sheltering in
Crazy.
place, many people
Crazy
have been
town.
forced to neglect their feet. We at the Soul Authority are making it possible for you to still take care of your feet while remaining in your home, as we will send a doctor to your house for all of your podiatric needs. The best part of all is that Medicare pays for this visit. So, if you're a Medicare recipient, give the Soul Authority a call today at 954-597-7060.
Well, thank you, Lowell. Good morning, Beverly.
7060. Don't let social distancing stop you from taking care of your feet. Call the Soul Authority today.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors, focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay
Well, thank you,
or
Dee.
concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Hurricane season is right around the corner. This gives us only a short period of time to make sure your roof and home is ready for the 2021 hurricane season. So don't delay and call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Our website is www.laportacontracting.com, where you will find our latest video and live testimony.
The reason it's $3.70 is I get extra cream in it, so I pay for the extra cream. It's actually less than that if I get it black.
604-4602.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, yeah, and you know, Laporta Contracting, Tom Laporta over there, the job they're doing on Steve's house is, we are so lucky that Tom Laporta went over there and looked at Steve's roof, because he found Steve had had a leak for so long, well, multiple leaks in his roof throughout the house, that it had gotten down into the drywall over time, and he has black mold throughout his house, which, you know, is not healthy. In fact, one of his kids, because some of Steve's kids and his grandkids live with him. He's got a big old house, you know. They've been getting sick a lot, and it's probably because of that black mold. And you know, it was an interesting thing, because Tom Laporta, he went over there, and I recorded that commercial with Tom Laporta, and he says, "Have you been over to Steve's house lately?" And I said, "No, I really haven't." And I haven't gone over there since you know, the COVID epidemic started. Actually, he's got a crowded house. I'm not going over it. And he lives 50 miles from me, too, so you know, it's got something to do. But he said, yeah, he could smell it as soon as he walked in the house. And he says they don't smell it because they live there. You know, he said people that have the black mold, they don't even know it because they're used to the smell. So I know. So really a lifesaver, Tom Laporta from Laporta Contracting, and give him a call. Have him check out your roof. Hurricane season is right around the corner. Rainy season days away. His number, 954-604-4602. This rings directly to his cell phone. He's a big Trump supporter like you guys out there. One of our MAGA brothers. 954-604-4602. All right, let's go to the phones. Our number, 1-888-GO-CANE1. I have some more pressing issues that I'm going to get into after the top of the hour break. I'm just unloading some things on my mind in this first hour, but after the top of the hour, I'll get to some of the more serious things. But first, let me take the calls. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
This is Crazy Grandma, Washington.
What's your name again?
Crazy Grandma, this is Cheryl.
Okay, Cheryl. Okay, go ahead, Cheryl. Go ahead, you're on the radio.
Oh, I was laughing so hard when the guy, when you were reading the thing about the time. What do you call the other time? The other time is called real time.
Yeah, real time. Yeah, there's no other name for it. Exactly.
No, it's just real time, and I'm tired of people telling me that things are fake, that they're fake or real, and that's the whole thing with the Bachelorette, The Bachelor. I don't watch it. I listened to you describe what they did, and I'm not surprised. I kind of analyzed it a little bit. Is that they're trying to convince us, obviously, that things are not like they...
Well, here, the point I was making is, how can she be a racist if she's competing on ABC network national television to marry a black man? That doesn't seem like something a racist would do.
Absolutely. But they're trying to tell us right out in front, right out loud that it's something it's not. They're just always trying to convince us that, people are still spies.
Yeah, and by the way, ABC, why did it take so long to have an African-American bachelor? That show's been on for years. First, what took so long?
It's the agenda. It's all part of the game, and it's just, isn't it amazing? It's just...
Well, it's a manipulation, and I'll tell you this. That point I made seems like a pretty obvious point, doesn't it? Right? Well, how could she be a racist? She's competing. Have you heard anybody else say that?
No.
No, that's right. See, when you're in, there's... No. It's all over the news. It's been in the news for weeks, and it's going to be all over today because they had the finale last night. No one will make the point I just made. I know it seems so obvious, and no one's brought it up. I remember when I took art appreciation in college, and they were showing us art, and there was this really cool sculpture that Picasso made that was handlebars off a bicycle that he made into the head of a bull. I forgot what the piece is called. And everybody in class said, well, that's so easy. It's just a handlebars. Of course it looks like the horns of a bull. Well, no one did it before Picasso. When a maestro, when an artist says, it sounds easy, it sounds simple, it sounds so obvious, but nobody else thought of it. I'm the Picasso of the airwaves is basically what I'm telling you, I guess. But this poor girl is being called a racist when she is the furthest thing from it. And it's not right because she's
racist, like you said. It's like it's crazy.
Well, this is the problem. She's a young girl. She's 20-something years old, right? For the rest of her life, this is going to follow her. When she is 68 years old and she's out and about, and somebody, they may not have Google then, there may be some other search engine or something else, but because of the internet, she will always be associated as being a racist when it's absurd.
I agree.
Okay, well, thank you. I like that. Appreciate the call. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Yeah, good morning.
Hey, Richie.
You, my friend. Listen, can I get a few things off my chest, really?
I don't want to do this thing that I don't like what you've been talking about, and I think you should be talking about this, Brian, so I'm going to hijack the show. I want you to talk about what I'm talking about. I'm going to bring up some more serious stuff after the top, but a little levity is okay.
I know that. I know what you're gonna do, and I appreciate sometimes you gotta be a little light because everything can be very depressing. What's going on today? You asked about this. You asked about this girl with the bachelor. I don't watch that crap. But the fact of the matter is, I'll give you the answer. She's white. You're automatically a racist today if you're white, and I'm sorry to say that. And if you're a Democrat and you're white, you have a guilt that you're white.
Well, let me tell you something. I have met real racist. I have seen real racism, okay? And I've known people that are real racist. And being a racist or an anti-Semite or any of these things are terrible, ugly, disgusting things. And throwing it around so lightly is wrong. And that point I made, I've been making this on my podcast for the last couple weeks talking about it. I haven't brought it up on the radio yet. It's the first time I brought it up on the radio. How can she be a racist if she's competing on national television against other women to marry a black man? It's stupid to call her a racist. She's the opposite of that.
Absolutely, but today everything is backwards. I mean, I watched this Jen Psaki, whatever her name is, up there saying the border crisis is, they took over a broken system that Trump destroyed, and they're blaming Trump for what they're doing.
Trump fixed the system. We didn't have any problems. The Mexicans were patrolling their northern border. They had their army protecting their northern border, stopping this stuff, holding them on the other side of the border.
Yeah, then they take credit for the vaccine distribution of the vaccines. I mean, this is
that Trump developed.
Yeah, and then of all things, I'm watching this trial of the jury selection. Let me tell you something about white racism out there. For anyone, and this is for that lady that goes through that Weezy or any of these other people. Let me tell you something. I'm watching the rejection of jurors, okay? And they're white, okay? And they're white because they saw a white cop put his knee on a black man's neck and can't get over the fact, and they formulated the decision that the white cop is guilty. And these are whites, and they're being rejected one after the other. So where the hell is the racism?
Well, the people, it affects all of us. I remember a few years ago, this was about 5 years ago, I witnessed a crime out of the front window of my house, and I called the police, and I talked about it at the time, but I'll tell the story real quick again, just a shorter version. I was in my living room late morning, early afternoon, and I obviously have a different schedule than most, but most people on my street are at work, right, and not many are home. And I saw two teenagers go in the person across the street's yard and steal a bicycle. And I called the police because I know the kid. I known the kid since before he was even in school, and he was getting his bike stolen. He's grown up and a working man now. So I called the police. And when I'm on the phone with the 911 operator, they asked me for a description. And even when I got to the part that the thief was African American, even I paused for a second, before I said it, and the pause was, do I say he was black or African American? And the reason that these jurors are reacting that way is because we've been so conditioned in our society. White people don't want to be perceived as a racist, and they pause. But this is what's happened with the Derek Chauvin trial. They're doing everything they can do to get this guy not to go to prison, because this payout, which they're talking about today, the city made that huge settlement that the family will blow through, after soon. That settlement where they can't, they're going to move the trial. You can get a mistrial just based on that, and they put one juror on there who said Black lives matter more than white lives, and he got sat on the jury, and there's been others. So they're setting this up to not get a conviction of Derek Chauvin, or an overturning of a conviction if they get one.
Yeah, it's kind of really disgusting what's going on there. They're sitting around there in fear that, this. I have to say this. He's lost control of the border, this administration, but he's going to lose control of this country.
No, he is not. What's happening at the southern border is what the White House wants. They want this to happen. Biden doesn't know what he wants because he's so checked out. But I'm talking about the people that are really running things. This is happening this is not a crisis because they want this to happen.
I agree with you, but here's the deal with this Chauvin deal. If he walks, this country will go up in flames. I can't imagine how many cities.
Yeah.
Tell you something real quick. I watched last night. I'm from New York City originally. I watched, there's this guy that's on YouTube, he's called The Action Kid. He was in Florida for a month, and I watch his videos every day. He walks, shows out people, everything. He went back to New York last night. He's from New York, and he was walking down where Greg Gutfeld lives. I have never seen anything like this in New York City before. It hurt me. I looked at it and said, how terrible.
What did it say? What was it? Because I've heard Gutfeld talk about the conditions in his neighborhood.
Well, the streets full of potholes. The sidewalks are all busted up. There's garbage bags laying all over the place like the garbage is on strike.
Yeah.
Graffiti, everything is BLM graffiti and gang graffiti all over.
That's de Blasio's New York. It's like the 70s.
They used to be on the subway trains where they used to face stuff. When I was a kid growing up, they didn't have that. If I had chalk on Halloween and I put something on, my father would have smacked me in the head. We had clean streets at least. I mean, it's so bad. There's no maintenance. Everything is falling apart. The stores are open.
Yeah, but we're woke. But everything's woke. They're woke up there. I mean, think about this. The vast majority of voters in New York are standing behind Governor Cuomo. So what does that tell you? They're living in filth. They're living in a crime-ridden area and everything else, and that's how they like it, apparently. Listen, Richie, I got to run. Thanks for the call. If you're on hold, don't go anywhere. 1 hour down, 2 to go. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back.
You covered AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Brian Craig here. I've been telling you for years how great My Pillow products are. But
That's
don't just
right.
take my word for it. This is one of our listeners, Todd. He bought the My Pillow mattress topper, and he called us live on the radio to tell us about his experience with the My Pillow mattress topper.
Yeah, I'm calling you testimonial about my pillow topper.
You ordered the My Pillow, the mattress topper?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, I was thinking about buying a new mattress because my old mattress was getting old. So my wife's like, why don't you try that pillow, that mattress top? I went on, I used your promo code Kane. I got a great price. Got it home and I've been using it for the last 3 nights. It's fantastic.
Oh, that's
It
awesome.
feels like a whole new mattress.
I talked to other listeners with the My Pillow mattress topper, and they come in all sizes. The mattress companies have turned into con artists. When I was a kid, mattresses were two-sided. You'd have the mattress, then after a while you'd flip it over. Now you can't flip mattresses anymore. They don't make them that way anymore because people weren't buying mattresses enough. So the mattress companies stopped making two-sided mattresses. And mattresses are expensive. I've had to buy a new mattress, and mattresses can cost well over, just for a regular normal mattress, over $1,000. So that My Pillow mattress topper is a big savings. It saved you from buying a new mattress and turn your whole bed into a My Pillow.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I really love it. I sleep really good.
Well, that's great. Well, I appreciate that. You guys out there, remember, promo code Kane, K-A-N-E.
Now, when you use the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, on MyPillow.com, save 30% off your My Pillow mattress topper. And receive 2 free My Pillows. But you got to use the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. 30% off the My Pillow mattress topper. Turn your old mattress into a big My Pillow mattress. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's
Oh, my goodness.
longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE 1. That's 8-GO-KANE 1. And now...
All right, hour number 2 has begun. It's 4 minutes after 7. I'm Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Welcome back. I brought up a lot of issues, which I think were very good topics, in the first hour of the program. There's only one opening on the board. I'm going to take a couple of calls before I get into any new topics, because I got some other stuff I want to share with you. But let me take a couple of these calls first. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? No, I can hear myself in the background. Pick up the phone once, twice. Are you with me? Yes, you're on the air.
This is Russell.
Russell, you got turn the volume down on whatever device you're listening to me on in the background, because there's a delay. I can hear myself, and I can hear myself like 30 seconds ago, so it's distracting and confusing.
Okay. Can you hear me?
I can still. You didn't turn it down in the back. You got to turn down the device, a TV, phone, iPad, computer, radio, whatever it is. Turn it down. That's okay. We'll all hold. There's only, it's early. There's only about 70,000 people. We'll wait.
Okay.
Still didn't do it. Okay, go ahead.
Governor?
He still didn't do it. You still didn't turn the volume down. Why can't you turn the volume down of the thing in the back? Why won't you, is what I mean. You're listening to me on... How are you listening to me? Radio, TV? What are you listening to me on?
Phone.
Okay. Turn the volume down on the phone that you're listening to me on. Because I can hear myself, and that's like 30... That's me talking 30 seconds ago because of the delay. Okay? You still haven't done it. Are you listening to me on the phone you're talking to me on, or is it another device? I can hear you, but I keep hearing myself. Are you talking to me on the same phone that you're listening to the show on? I guess this is being snide, right?
Yes.
Okay, it sounds better now. Okay, go ahead.
New York, the governor, what do you call it? Cuomo?
Yes.
Polygraph test. This is lying or tells the truth. That's it.
About what?
polygraph test that they should take. Polygraph test.
What do you want to ask Cuomo on this polygraph?
The state says polygraph test, take it.
Yeah, but what do you want to... You want to put Fredo's brother, Governor Cuomo, on a lie detector, a polygraph. What question do you want to ask him?
Lying or telling the truth?
Well, what's the question? What question will you ask him that he's lying about?
Some people look at the polygraph test.
Well, you just can't say, are you lying or telling the truth? You have to ask a question. So you've got Governor Cuomo on the polygraph. You want to find out if he's telling the truth or lying. What question do you want to ask him to find out if he's telling the truth about it? Oh, my goodness.
Everything New York...
There's the number.
I'm so sorry, Craig, because I had 3 strokes.
Oh, my goodness. 3 strokes. Oh, my goodness. Well, hey, Biden, he's running the country. So, you can talk to me.
Okay. But I can't even word because of my 3 strokes.
That's okay. I know. I'm giving you a hard time. I don't need the victim. So you want to find out if Governor Cuomo is lying or telling the truth. You want to put him on a polygraph. What question do you want to ask him?
I don't polygraph. I have.
Okay, let me help you here. He would pass a polygraph. He would pass a polygraph. Do you know why? Do you know why Governor Cuomo would pass a polygraph?
Yes.
Why?
Okay.
He would pass the polygraph because he's a pathological liar who does, and what that means, he doesn't know that he's lying. He doesn't believe he's lying. Right? The polygraphs, if they work, a polygraph only shows deception if you think you're deceiving. He's completely insane. He's like Governor Whitmer in Michigan. He doesn't believe he's lying about anything. So he would pass with flying colors a polygraph.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see what I mean? All right, hey, listen. Appreciate the call. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
The Beltway Bastard. It's Al. Anyway, I'd like to talk about Richie.
Okay, you're on the radio. Go ahead now. Al the John, Liberal Al.
Well, his buddy, Timothy Cusinelli, got arrested.
I don't even know. We don't know who you're talking about. I don't know if it's his. I don't know if it's a buddy of his or someone. Talk about one of the issues we have on the table. Be relevant to the conversation instead of trying to bring up your own topics because you're not good at it.
No, Cusinelli is the guy with the little Hitler mustache that was an Army contractor.
Nobody care. Talk about something I brought up in the last 1 hour and 10 minutes that I've been on the air. How about that?
Dr. Jane Lemansky would agree you are a beta male. I mean, you're a classic definition of a beta male.
Give me an example of something I have done lately that fits the definition of being a beta male.
Well, I mean, on your podcast with your wife, you brag about the fact that she makes you do the laundry. You brag about it. I mean, I would brag.
No, my wife, I help my wife with the laundry. We both do it. But my wife is disabled with a very severe heart and lung illness. And it's difficult for her to do laundry. In fact, she can't even bend over because her head cannot be equal or below her heart. So what I'm doing by helping my wife with the laundry is the exact opposite. But of course, being a good husband is something you don't know about, having never been a husband, good or bad. So give me an example that shows that I'm a beta male. That one shows that I'm the opposite.
You probably the man a few times because you would have all the housework?
I do, yes, I do the housework because my wife is disabled and cannot do physical labor. She is, you know this. My wife has pulmonary hypertension, a heart and lung illness, and she has an IV pump that pumps medication into a tube that's in her chest 24 hours a day. Okay, so yes, I do housework, I do laundry. You know, and if you want to attack me for helping my wife, or should I bring in cleaning lady during COVID? What do you think I should do? It's COVID. Should I bring in a cleaning lady who's in 80 houses a week into my house? What should I do?
When you left the maid go. That was in April, and COVID wasn't.
I never had a maid.
What?
Huh?
You had a maid?
No, I didn't have a maid.
Okay, a nurse that came in a couple times.
We didn't have a nurse that came into the house.
Well, I'm just telling you your little private podcast.
We had a cleaning lady. Who would come over on occasion to help my wife. Yes, and with COVID, we stopped. A maid. We didn't have some woman wearing like ruffles and a black skirt who served us meals and did all that stuff. No, no.
Right, I recall the podcast.
We had a cleaning lady that would come in every couple of weeks to help my wife because I can't do because not when I'm not being a husband, I work. These are all things that are foreign concepts to you. So can you what are you trying to? You're trying to tear me down. You've been unsuccessful. So far. What do you? It sounds like you're the beta male.
Oh, you want an example of beta male?
No, I'm waiting for one still. I'm waiting for you to give an example. All I've heard are you giving examples of me being a great husband. I'm waiting for you to give an example of me being what's a beta male? Like a wimpy guy?
Yeah, you could have a wimpy side to you.
Wimpy. That sounds to me as a Democrat. Why would you say a guy's wimpy? That seems very gender specific. I thought being gender specific was like some kind of phobia today in left-wing circles. Your Democrat friends would not like you applying specific gender roles to men and women, which you've been doing throughout this call. Liberal Al. That's not very liberal of you today.
Well,
Now think about that. Why aren't you being so gender specific, Liberal Al? Isn't that one of the phobias now? We're not.
You are a beta male. Dr. Lemansky would agree with you.
Okay.
But
listen, I want to move on to another call or two. I got a full board here, so I'll give you one more chance at something to redeem your honor.
And may I ask you a question about Ron Johnson's attitude towards the entire riot? Do you agree with his attitude?
Well, be more specific. You're talking about the January 6th Capitol attack. Tell me specifically what Ron Johnson has said that you want me to comment on. I'm not going to give you a generic comment.
Okay. He basically said that he would be okay with the white protest coming in, but he would be unsafe if it was but the black people.
No, that he didn't say any of that. So when you know what he really said, I'll comment on it, but he didn't say that. Look it up on Google. Call back another day with an exact quote. All right, Liberal Al? Take care. Oh, my goodness. He wants me to comment on what Ron Johnson said, and then he states something that Ron Johnson didn't say and wants me to comment on it as if Ron Johnson said it. All right, good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Good morning, caller. Yes, you're on the radio. What's your name?
This is Mark in Tennessee.
Hey, Tennessee. What's up?
I just wanted to kind of chime in on all this cancel culture and all this crap that's going on. Really, what they're doing is trying to divide us as Americans. That's the whole agenda for this cancel culture and all this insanity we've been hearing.
Well, the Democrats are all about division. They always have been. Okay? And what the cancel culture is about is the MAGA movement under President Trump's great leadership has attracted many people from groups that the Democrats have long taken for granted. Gays, blacks, Hispanics. So the cancel culture is a way to divide people, right? Black against white, white against black, etc. You can make a long list and try to get some of these groups back home to the Democrat Party.
Absolutely, and I wish people would see what they're doing. And see, when President Trump come on the scene, he was uniting Americans. They couldn't have that because we might, if everybody united, they might be, for American first and things of that nature. So they couldn't have us being united as Americans.
Well, because what happens when America is united, we're united against the swamp.
Absolutely.
And they don't like that.
Against the enemies. And
yeah.
just like during World War II, America was so united against the bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
They just can't have that. And it's just, I wish people would look into why they're doing this. If they looked at Agenda 21.
Oh, I don't want to get back in the Agenda 21. That's so 2005. All right, but hey, listen, appreciate the call, Tennessee. Take care, take care. All right, listen, we're going to take our first break of the second hour. Those of you on hold, stand by. Back to our very busy phones after this break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beat. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
This is Dr. Mitchell Matez. I'm excited to announce that my practice has morphed into
Well, thank you, smiling snow squirrel.
To all my existing patients, please be assured that you will continue to receive the same quality and personalized care that you are accustomed to. We will be located at Atlantic Avenue and Lyons Road in the Joseph's Market Shopping Center, directly across from the Delray Marketplace. Call me at my new office number, 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
The Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
You're on the radio. What's your name?
Good morning, Alex from Boca.
Hey, Alex. What's on your mind?
About the Bachelor news and other. Every time I see the Confederate flag in the news, I know the media wants me distracted. The media wants me distracted and angry. And they brought that angry using irrelevant topics, like something that's no longer important, like the Confederate flag, 160 years old issue. They brought it back because they don't want me to think in current issues. As an example, since Biden has been in the White House, I stopped hearing about news about the federal government. All that I get in my phone is just irrelevant.
No, these are not. These things we're talking about are not distractions. There's something, during Trump, and when Trump's back in 2024 for his second term, things will get back to that era. But with Trump, we were united, and what's happened now is the Democrats have brought back something that we took a break from. Okay, that we used to talk about a lot. It's called the culture war. The culture war. And these issues are very important. We are going through a cultural shift in this country. All right? And we are going through the biggest cultural shift that this country has gone through since integration. And, there have been huge periods of cultural shifts in this country. And this is another one, and it involves several things. It involves both a change in the way we carry ourselves due to the pandemic. I mean, look, Biden's saying that your freedom of assembly, which is in the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments of our Constitution, that you don't have freedom to invite over to Independence Day who you want. This is all part of the culture war, and it's not a distraction.
Of the culture war as soon as I can do something about it. I cannot do something.
Of course you can. Look what we're doing. Let me give you an example, okay? And I'm not just patting myself on the back for a brilliant point. I make brilliant points every day, so I'm not patting myself on the back, because if I did that, all I do would be patting myself on the back. This point I made about The Bachelor, okay? is all about this culture war. They're calling this girl a racist who was on television competing on national TV to marry a black man. The idea that she's a racist is absurd. And look what's happened to Pierce Morgan. Look what's Sharon Osbourne's about to be fired from the talk. Dr. Seuss, the list goes on and on. They're calling people racist and other things like similar to that, transphobe and all this thing, that they're not. These are not racist people, and the standard for what is racist has been lowered to such a point to cancel people out and not have a discussion about the issues. These are things that have to be discussed. It's not about, of course, The Bachelor is a ridiculous television show. It's a game show, okay? It's a game show where people are competing for a husband or a wife or a hookup or something. It's not about the stupidity of The Bachelor. Who cares about the talk with Sharon Osbourne? It's a stupid talk show. But no, it is important. It's not about the talk. It's about this cultural shift that's going on. And what's happened is this, caller. This is a very important thing for people to understand. We have total equality in America today among the sexes, among the religions, among the different ethnicities, white, black, Hispanic, Asian, all these things. We have total equality. And equality was achieved because white people said enough and changed the laws. Because minorities were not in power to pass laws or make laws. And what's happened? The group of people that ended all of these things through legislation are being villainized as being anti-gay, transphobe, anti-black, anti-Hispanic, anti-immigrant. Our First Lady Melania is an immigrant, okay? So the people that gave us a society with equality, white people, are being demonized as being against all that when it was white people that passed the laws that allowed us to have a total equality in America today. And it's important to talk about these things and not just say, oh, The Bachelor's a stupid TV show. It's not about the stupid TV show.
The topic is important. My point is what aspect, what approach to the topic, because...
Okay. What do you think I should be doing? If you were doing the show today instead of me, what should I be saying on the radio today as opposed to what I've been doing for the last 90 minutes?
No, it's nothing bad to bring that about.
No. But what if you were in my position, what should I be talking? You're not hearing what you want to hear, you told me. What should I be addressing that I'm not? Because you said that you don't like these issues that are being discussed here and elsewhere. What should I be saying on the radio that I'm not? What topic should I be discussing that I'm not?
But the issue that I think there are things more important.
For example, give me an example of the important. Okay, give me an example of an issue that's more important that we should be talking about today. Give me an example.
Immigration, but immigration is the most important topic about the switching cultures, because that was causing the culture to change forever.
No, we are talking about immigration. In fact, I talked about it. We did a lot on it yesterday. I was talking about it a little while ago, and what I said was this on the air today. I'll bring it up. This is the top. The crisis on the southern border, right? There's some of the facilities have over 700% at their capacity. The detainees are sleeping in shifts because there's not enough beds. They didn't even have, over the weekend it was reported, they didn't even have enough food to give to the detainees, right? Children even didn't have enough food. And I was saying this crisis is a crisis by design, that the administration is, right out of Cloward and Piven's strategy, they're overwhelming the immigration system at the southern border so that it collapses, so that the border is completely open, which is what they want.
These kind of topics, we have to understand, being angry is just the first step. It's not just to be angry all the time. The next step is to take action. Another topic that is very important is the legitimate.
Well, I mean, listen. What do you do for a living? What do you do for a living?
I'm database programmer.
You're a what?
IT.
IT programmer. I don't know anything about IT. I call IT guys to help me. Okay? All the issues that you're talking about, we're talking about in a more sophisticated way. They just say, okay, the border, it's terrible. You know, I've been doing. This is, I don't like saying this because it sounds like I'm bragging, and I'm not, and it also makes me feel old. This is my 30th year doing this. Steve Kane has been doing this for half a century, and I've been doing it for 30 years. We're experts at what we're doing. You're an expert in IT. So you try. I think we're doing all right. This is the longest running radio show in Florida, on the air since 1977. And it is not the longest running radio show because we don't know what we're doing. So when I need IT work, I won't tell the IT guy what he should be doing. I'll let you tell me what needs to be done. Same thing goes with this, all right? All right, take care. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
Hey, it's Mike in Boca.
Hey, Mike.
Did you, they showed some clips of Andy yesterday, Cuomo, walking outside of his house with the, he had a cover for his app.
That was a couple days ago, yeah. I'm using that as the thumbnail on my YouTube today. It looks like he looks like almost a shawl kind. I don't know what it is. It looks strange. Yeah, he's got a beer. He's covered up with a blanket and a beer. Yeah.
It's actually, they said it's a water, bottled water.
That's not a bottled water. That's a bottle of beer.
I'll send you the clip from last night.
Well, that must be a different picture. Anyway, what's up, Mike? Go ahead.
The border, yeah, that's crazy what's going on with the border. I watched the border special over the weekend, and they showed where the people are coming in, and they showed El Paso, they have a double wall, but our wall, the door's wide open, literally.
Yeah.
Open, and there's like next to no police.
Now let me ask you, do you think, they're making a big deal yesterday, Dana Perino, she's the White House correspondent expert, they got McEnany over there, she's more up to date, Dana Perino, and she's not a bushy, I'd rather hear from McEnany than Perino, but they're obsessing that Jen Psaki won't call it a crisis. Do you believe that let me ask the question. Do you think that Psaki, Biden, Kamala, and the White House think that's a crisis?
They're not going to tell you that it is or it isn't. They're not going to tell you. To them,
no, they've already told us. They've allowed this to happen. They don't think that's a crisis. This is going according to their plan. They want this to happen.
Yeah.
They don't feel bad about this. This is what they want to happen for a lot of reasons.
But they want it to happen. What do you think was going to happen? Whoever voted for this guy.
Yeah. The crisis isn't what's going on at the border. The crisis would be completing the wall. Building the wall was a crisis to these people.
Yeah. I mean,
listen, this is what's going on. This is what's going on down there. They're taking the people there that are going to be coming for as long as the Democrats are running the government, right? And they relocate them around the country. And they can relocate them to any state they want. And what they're doing is targeting states that are just called purple states, battleground states. And it's a way to turn purple states blue. Okay? Well, it's what's going on. That's what's going on.
Stop making wall.
Yeah, well, that's called a door. That's called a door. They didn't stop. Biden didn't stop building the wall. Biden created doorways. Those are doors. Those are not uncompleted sections of wall. Those are doorways. Hey, listen, Mike, I got to run it, but appreciate the call. All right. I know, I'm jazzed up on coffee. I really am. This is, boy. Okay, let's take our break. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. We'll be back.
You covered AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network, WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Do you think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus?
Steve Kane Show. Hold on. Hey Barry, it's Brian. Great. Hold on.
Have a swab stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to work tomorrow. They also tested me for the antibodies, and I haven't been exposed. So do what I did. Go over to any lab test now at Coral Springs. They give great rates for Steve Kane listeners, and tell them we sent you.
It's worth 15 minutes of your time to have peace of mind and know that you and your family are safe. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. You can call them at 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, I am Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show. We are back. This is the longest running radio show in Florida. And it's time to check in with attorney Barry Siegel, who specializes in elder law, estate planning, and Medicaid planning. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. How are you?
I'm doing well. What do you have for us today?
Well, Brian, we all just past weekend experienced a time change, and we're all experiencing the daylight throughout, the light mornings and the dark mornings and the lighter days throughout, and so we're kind of experiencing daylight also in our lives with this horrible pandemic we've been going through, and of course it's not over yet. However, with all the vaccinations, hopefully we're seeing some daylight.
Oh yeah.
With this time change, it's we all know the saying "spring forward," and we need to not forget the lessons that so many people. All of a sudden, the estate planning became a priority, became something we need to do, not a should do. And as things may be clearing up, hopefully, we can't forget those important lessons about how important it is to make sure that we have our affairs in order to take care of the people we love and ourselves, protect our assets, and really gain the peace of mind by making sure that the people we love are properly protected. We avoid probate, guardianship, have bloodline protection, and so on.
Yeah.
Lesson not to forget and to stop procrastinating.
Yeah, absolutely. And let me ask you, Barry, one of the things that's important to do is have a trustee that can handle your estate for your family when you're either incapacitated or you pass on. And I was wondering, with the pandemic year, can people have a backup trustee in case something happens to the first one?
Whether we're in a pandemic year or not, we always suggest that people have at least one backup. Or sometimes people will name two fiduciaries at the same time. They'll name two people together, and then those people can either both be required to sign, or one trustee or power of attorney may be required to sign.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing, because that's something I don't think we've ever talked about before, because usually somebody picks someone that, of course, they trust, that's in the family, but usually kind of an immediate family. And one thing with the pandemic, things are passed among immediate family members, parents to children, et cetera, spouses and everything else. So I never even thought of that before this pandemic. Listen, give attorney Barry Siegel a call. It's a completely free consultation. And those of you that are recent transplants to Florida, I know there are a lot of you here because you don't know that in Florida you can turn right on red, and you're in front of me at these red lights all the time that aren't really red. You can turn right on red, New Yorkers and Pennsylvanians. But if you're a recent transplant to Florida, give attorney Barry Siegel a call, because you could actually face probate in 2 states if you don't have things taken care of properly. Barry's number, attorney Barry Siegel, completely free consultation, 855-FLA-3782, 1-855-FLA-3782, and online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, attorney Barry Siegel, we will talk later in the week.
Okay, thank you, Brian.
All right, thank you. Always good information from Barry. All right, and the show is, boy, we're in high gear today. Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. Phones are cooking.
I'm in outer space here with this time change.
Oh, it's a mess.
Sure.
It sucks. The daylight savings time is awful. You know, I don't like Marco Rubio, but he introduced a bill to do away with daylight savings time. Little Marco, I'll support him on that. You know, and I can't even figure out how to set my watch to the right time. It's ridiculous. And anyway, listen, the show has been on fire today, and I haven't even gotten to any of my show prep to speak of. Let me take a call or two, and then I got some audio that I wanted to play. All right, you're on the radio. What's your name?
Hi, this is Sarah Strum.
Yes, go ahead. What's on your mind?
Yes, I wanted to tell you that somebody did bring up the fact that the girl was on The Bachelor in Twitter. And someone said, and everyone started agreeing, this is absurd, that the worst kind of racist is someone like her. They marry black people and turn them into sex slaves.
No, that's what they're saying about the girl on The Bachelor. Well, you know, listen, this thing about her, okay, that's a disc, you know. She is not a racist. She's a white girl on national TV competing to marry a black man in front of the world. A racist wouldn't. She's not competing for a hookup. If she was a racist, okay, the last thing she would do would be to go on television for her family and friends to see her competing to marry a black man and doing very humiliating things in that competition. It's just a stupid allegation they've made. But you know what a lot of it is they fired the host of The Bachelor because he didn't condemn her enough, and his girlfriend dumped him too, who's a hostess on Entertainment Tonight. And probably what the deal is, the Bachelor's been on the air for probably about 5 or 10 years too long. The ratings are low. So for the ABC, for the very first time, brought on an African American bachelor, and it's the first time they've done it. And they did it as a publicity stunt to save the show, and then they got into this woke thing to do a similar thing, and it's destroyed a girl's life, just like Nick Sandman. All right, appreciate the call. All right, so I wanted to move on a little bit from that, but that's a pretty important topic. But I wanted to play a couple of clips here. Just one. It won't take us too long because it involves Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama is commenting on the racist royal family. Can you believe this? Michelle Obama, she was being interviewed by President Bush's daughter, and she came out in support of Meghan Markle. And you with us, Steve? I thought I lost you. I guess we lost Steve. Okay. Yeah, I lost you. Hello. You on? I can hear you now. Okay, so so Michelle Obama has come out and commented on the racist royal family and come out in support of Meghan Markle and her journey. Let me play this clip. This is Michelle Obama being interviewed by President Bush's daughter, Jenna.
New construct in this world for people of color, you know. So it wasn't a complete surprise to sort of hear her feelings. The thing that I hope for and the thing I think about is that this first and foremost is a family, and I pray for forgiveness and healing for them so that they can use this as a teachable moment for us all.
Okay, for us all. Okay, so she's saying that Meghan Markle is right, that the royal family are racist, but what she said there is she understands her feeling. What about her? I didn't hear an experience of racism shared by Meghan Markle. And so far as this thing that somebody asked how dark the baby would be, my daughter is biracial, and last year she did something that I'm not a big fan of doing. And I've not done this myself, and I think that there's very good reasons not to do this, but which I may tell you in a moment. But she went and got a DNA test because she wanted to know what she is. right? Because she's biracial. We know she's black because her birth mother was black, but the rest of it we really don't know. And she got one of those DNA kits. Have any of your kids done this, Steve?
Perfect.
Yeah, and she found out what she is, and she's very little of her is white. She's majority black, and a lot of Indian, and very specific Indian. It even gave us some tribe down in Central America and South America. They're very specific on this DNA. Very small percentage of her is white. And what she was doing is she was doing a couple of things. She was finding out what her ancestry is, what her DNA is, and she also wanted to know kind of like, how black is she? How white is she? You know what I mean? And you know, that's, I think, is something that's very normal among biracial people to want to have answers to. How black am I? How white am I? How this am I? It's a normal thing and a normal question. And I remember before I adopted my daughter, we talked about it on the air, right? Because I use the same adoption attorney you use, Charlotte Dansu, here in Boca Raton. And we would get calls from liberal blacks really taking issue. Well, you know, what are you going to tell that kid being raised by white people? And what are you going to tell him about all these things, you know, and all this stuff? And what about Quan? You know, you've gone through this thing. In interracial families and biracial people, it is a normal discussion and a regular discussion about how black am I? How white am I? Who am I? What am I? How much of this am I? This is not racist. It's a real discussion. So I don't know, you know, and Michelle Obama is well aware of this because she is married to a biracial man, President Obama, whose mother is a white girl from Kansas. You know, so I don't know what she's taught, and there's no way that you can convince me that Michelle and Barack didn't wonder when she was pregnant if one of the kids would be looking white because his mother was white. You know, you know what I'm talking about? So this is ridiculous. And
but they make the whole thing a racist thing is beyond me.
Yeah.
Speculating about the shade of you know, of white.
Yeah.
Why is that racist? I don't understand.
And I have even heard, like, I remember when I was in high school, I remember hearing kids that were black talk about how dark someone was, or there's one shade of African Americans that's more red than brown. You know what I'm talking about? And there was, so inside the African American community, there's all kinds of discussion about how dark you are, how light you are, what color your skin is. This is normal discussion in interracial families. This is not racist. And Michelle Obama, she's just trying to be, you know, Meghan Markle's the girl of the month, so she wants to buddy up with Meghan Markle. They both have podcasts on Spotify. So, you know, there's a business interest between Michelle Obama and Meghan Markle. You know what I mean? And she's trying to, you know, it's absurd, and it's unfortunate because, you know, we elected and re-elected an African American man to be president of the United States, and still the first African American first lady of the United States, everything's racism. If the country was the country that Michelle Obama thinks it is, her husband wouldn't have been elected and re-elected. You know, I mean, you know, but she still wants to see this country as something it's obviously not, and her having been first lady for 8 years is proof that it's not the country that she wants to believe that it is. You know, it's ridiculous. All right, well, let's take a call or two, then we'll break. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
Can you approve a point related to Neil Rogers?
Oh, wait a second. Oh, hey, hold on, Lurch. Is the point of... I heard you the first time. It fell flat the first time. It'll be even less funny the second time. What point are you trying to make? That you are a worse chronic caller than Al the John? Because I think you made that point.
Caller than Al.
No, get.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's what happens when you go screenless. You never know what you're going to get. Yeah. There's we have a limit on the stupidity? That's a new one.
Stupidity limit.
Okay. Oh my goodness. All right, listen, let's take a break. Let's try to clean the airwaves from that, and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, roofing
Steve
and
Kane Show.
restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry
hold on.
since 1982. We are State of Florida certified roofing and general contractors, focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal ceilings.
What did he say to get kicked off the show?
And slate tile
There's a
systems.
long history with that guy. He's been calling the show longer than I've been a part of it. And he went to one of our sponsors once, ordered and ate a meal, and left without paying.
So don't delay and call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Our website is www.laportacontracting.com, where you will find our latest video and live testimonials from a few of our past clients. Our number again is 954-604-4602.
Have you ever picked up a towel set because it felt really soft in the store, but when you go to use it, it's not very absorbent? It's basically a towel that's leaving you out to dry. Mike Lindell, Trump supporter and inventor of MyPillow, has developed a towel that actually works. Towels that actually
No, that was not
dry.
Taliban Pat.
MyPillow is debuting
There's about
MyPillow 6-piece
3 to
towel
5
set that
people
includes 2 bath towels, 2 hand towels,
that
and
have
2
earned
washcloths.
lifetime bans of the program.
And right now, when you buy one set, you get another set free. But you've got to use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout. Go to MyPillow.com. Click on the radio listener specials. MyPillow products come with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. To get the buy one, get one free on the 6-piece set off MyPillow towels, just go to MyPillow.com, click the radio listener special, and enter the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout. Or call them directly, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. That's MyPillow.com, promo code K-A-N-E. Kane.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on...
All right, I'm Brian, Steve Kane here. We are back, and I got to take a moment to tell you guys about Champagne Automotive Repair. Well, they will never do a repair on your vehicle that your vehicle does not need. And by the way, they work on all vehicles, commercial vehicles, sports cars, old cars, new cars, whatever you got. They'll do the work on it. I'll give you 2 quick examples on how Champagne Automotive Repair will never do a repair on your vehicle that you do not need. My daughter's car a few weeks ago had a very, very bad problem, and I thought it needed both a new axle and CV joints. And that can be a costly repair. And I towed my daughter's car over there, and Eddie Jr., he called me up right after the car arrived. He said, the car's ready. I said, it needed a new axle. It needed the CV joint. He's like, no, it didn't. I said, well, what did it need? He says, we'll talk when you get here. He kept me in suspense. And it needed just a minor repair that cost just a few bucks. I was ready to lay out like a lot of money, and it just a few bucks. And you know what? If I'd have gone to another mechanic, they would have sold me the new axle and the CV joints and everything else, okay? Because that's what they do. And Steve, you had an incident with your son Tyler. Tyler needed some work done on his car, and you had him take it over to one of those big-name national garages. There's only like 3 or 4, so you guys can guess. They all work the same. You know, when you go to these big-name places, the person you deal with isn't the mechanic, right? They're a salesman or a sales lady, and their job is to get you to agree to as much work on your car that they can possibly get out of you, regardless of whether or not it needs it. So Tyler Kane took his car over to this place, and they gave him a printout of everything that he needed done. And then Tyler, without giving the printout to them, took the car up to Champagne Automotive Repair here in Boca and had them look over the car bumper to bumper. And they told him what it really needed to have done, which was far less than what the big company said. In fact, they told Tyler that he needed $843.12 in repairs that the car did not need. You heard me, $843.12 in repairs that the vehicle did not need. And that's Champagne Automotive Repair. They're honest, which is really virtually next to impossible to find in the automotive repair business, and they will never do a repair on your vehicle that it doesn't need. That's why we have listeners that travel an hour each way to go to Champaign Auto Repair. This is their number. If you miss it, it's at stevekaneshow.com, 561-245-8101, 561-245-8101. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Radio Show. Good morning, caller. You're on the radio.
Yes, I want to comment on most of the politicians with this and black that. You notice Kamala, her husband is white. Ilhan Omar, her husband is white. And like you said about Michelle Obama with Barack, multiracial.
Yes, that's right. It's a multiracial family, the Obamas, because Obama's mother was white.
That's my comment. They're always bringing in this and black that, but yet still they're married. They're not married to their own.
Well, you know, here's the
But it's white.
Yes.
Always bringing up the race baiting. Ilhan Omar, the same thing.
Yeah. Ilhan Omar, her new husband's white. Kamala Harris is married to. Why do you think Kamala Harris is married to a Caucasian man, as opposed to, say, an Indian or an African American? Why do you think that is, caller?
Well, I guess probably she needs to fit in politically for gain.
For gain?
She's been doing for gain.
Maybe.
The top.
Maybe. You know, I see. You know, it's maybe. Yeah, that's possible.
We're having the love.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't see anything. Meghan Markle, her interview, I didn't waste my time to watch it. The girl knew exactly what she was getting involved in. She had a wedding that cost over $32 million. What's her problem? What concern? What the color of her baby's skin gonna be? And the way Oprah, I lost every respect for Oprah a long time ago, because she's another one. She likes to race bait. And how did she acquire her wealth? That's what somebody needs to interview her. And
well, what do you? Well, I know how she got rich, but what does that mean? What do you mean? How did she acquire her wealth?
White people.
Well, okay.
People support Oprah.
Well, what happened? Okay, let me be a little more specific. Oprah made most of her money through her syndicated television. She had the local show in Chicago. It got picked up in syndication. And syndication's big money, especially back then. Her audience was primarily white housewives. Yes, that's correct.
Yes, there's a lot of things I could say, but I don't want to get to a show.
Okay, whatever that means. I don't know what that means, but I guess it means she's out of material and she's trying to think of an interesting way to end the call, as opposed to not being interesting anymore. You know, I was talking in the beginning of the show at 6, Steve, there's a new poll out of New York among voters in New York. Over 50% support Cuomo, Governor Cuomo, and are happy with him. So he's not going anywhere, except maybe to his third and final term. Based on this new poll, he could get reelected. Only 35% of people take issue with him on the way he's handling everything.
Plan.
Yeah.
His plan.
Yeah, so he's not going to resign, and he'll probably run for re-election and be reelected. You know, why should he resign?
Won't that tell us a lot?
Yeah, that New Yorkers are, you know, what? They don't care. Yeah, they're spaced out. I think they're more spaced out than the California voters, tell you the truth. I mean, my goodness, he's got this nursing home scandal and everything. Only 35% of voters take issue with him, and they're not saying he should step aside. All right, let's take some more calls. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hi, Brian. This is Rolanda.
Hey, Rolanda, how's it going?
Well, hi. With regards to the governor of New York, that's why he is the way he is. But see, here's the problem. There are other people who are going to be Democrats who are going to be running for office, and I'm sure the Democratic Party wants to pick up as many as they possibly can. They don't want him to be a drag on the ticket, but he's going to be there. That's the bottom line. New York loves him, and they want him.
Well, here's the thing. This is the thing that I don't know if I didn't know this or if I'd forgotten, but I didn't know that his ex-wife was Bobby Kennedy's daughter. So, you know, his think about this.
Herself in the bathroom on the last night they were together because she was afraid he was going to kill her.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen. I wonder if she ever rode in the car with her Uncle Ted. But okay, so would that have made her nervous? But yeah, that's what I'd ask if I was interviewing her. I'd say, "Oh man, that sounds pretty scary in the bathroom. Did you ever feel that scared when you were riding in the car with Uncle Ted at the wheel?" I'd love to ask her that. But here's the thing: when I realized over the weekend that Governor Cuomo's kids are Bobby. Well, they're not just Kennedys. Arnold Schwarzenegger's kids are Kennedy. Okay, Governor Cuomo's children are Bobby Kennedy's grandchildren. This isn't like, so that's directly Bobby. So as soon as I heard that, I know, oh, he's fine. The Kennedys. And it shows you the Kennedys have their tentacles. Mayor Pete is a Kennedy. Not by marriage or birth, but he's a Kennedy. John Kerry's a Kennedy. Governor Cuomo's a Kennedy. And for that matter, that probably somehow makes Fredo Cuomo a Kennedy too. So the Kennedys have their tentacles all over the place, and they're not going to do anything to the father of Bobby Kennedy's grandchildren.
And if I make no mistake, the
George, $5 super
Bobby
chat. Thank
Kennedy
you.
Was from
watching from the Peace
New
River
York.
Sanctuary.
Senator
Thank
from
you.
New York, if I make no mistake.
Thank you. Yeah. So he's got immunity. He could do far worse. And these stories with these girls, these women. They're not girls. They're women. There's a factor with that. We're not talking about the nursing homes with these allegations. He is a single man. Okay. And if you read these stories, he's probably very embarrassed that all the stories are him getting turned down. I mean, this guy can't score anything. But the thing with this is, as soon...
Wait, you believe that?
Well, we haven't seen any women come forward that have taken him up on it.
What does that mean? Whoa. But I think that's true, but what does that mean? Because that's a very significant...
No, it means no. I think there are a lot of women that said yes, and we haven't heard from.
Once they say yes, they're not part of the plot, so they're not.
Well, but Governor Cuomo. There's three things about Cuomo. Nothing we heard is wrong. One, he's single, not married, which is a factor you don't normally get with these politicians. Two, when they said no, he seemed to move on a little bit, even though he was hitting on them. He moved on. And three, he wasn't like Harvey Weinstein. There was no pay for play that we've heard from any of these women. Either if you want a job with me, if you want a story, sleep. He didn't do any of that. So there's the only crime that he's committed, I think, is the crime of being heterosexual. So far as what we've heard from women. Okay, the nursing home is different, of course.
It wouldn't have happened if that's an interesting point you bring up about if there was a man involved. If you worked for Cuomo and a guy came on to you like that, what would you do?
Tell him I'm not gay. I mean, if I was a woman.
Serious? Yeah. No. If you're you. And all of a sudden, like with that last girl, like with that one who is the journalist.
No, it's an uncomfortable situation. I don't know if I would have done it. I don't know that I'm trying to answer. I'm trying to answer. Okay.
Question: If Cuomo came up behind you, put his arms around you, and grabbed your crotch, what would you do? That's a straight.
Now we're talking about Governor Cuomo. We're not talking about a random man. If I were one of those women, any guy's different. Any guy's different. If it was just a regular guy, the women would slap him and say, "Get your hands off me." But when you're dealing with someone who is a celebrity, who's very famous and powerful, probably most women. If I was a woman, No, I'd be like, get your hands off me. I'm not. I don't. Yeah, but. So what are we talking about here? Most women, though, I think would respond the way these women did. I think most women would respond this way.
But not Brian. Brian, listen to me. And Steve said it the other day. He is right. He's got 5 daughters of his own. Most of us would take his hand, we'd either remove it or we'd knock him to kingdom come. Okay?
Well, you take that famous Rocky Horror show, the Time Warp, you take a step to the right,
That's all you, Debbie.
No, there's a factor here, Steve. When you're dealing with, we're not dealing with just a regular guy like me or you. We're dealing with a governor of a big state, and the people. Well, I'm trying to I'm trying to tell you.
Rage.
Well, let me finish, and you get you more enraged. Okay. The women around him put up with this because they're groupies, and they want in. They want in.
Then they're party to it. They have no right to.
Okay.
That's true. You got to make up in your mind, Brian, as a woman. You make a decision whether you're going to play ball or whether you're going to end this thing right now.
Well, I told this to Steve once. I'll tell you again real quick without getting because we're up on a break. But many moons ago, this was a long time ago, Neil Rogers offered me the job to replace George as his producer when I was kind of new with Steve. And by the way, the offer Steve wasn't paying me very much then. The offer was $50,000 a year starting and a company car, and I turned it down. I stayed with Steve. And that's a tempting financial offer, but hey, listen, I knew Neil. I think Neil is awesome. I like Neil Rogers, a very interesting, great radio talk shows. There's no disrespect for Neil, but I even then at a young age knew that came with some conditions, and the strings would be I'd have to agree to be sexually harassed during all of that. You know what I mean? So I kind of laughed it off and didn't even take it as a serious offer, which it was. I think it was a serious offer, but I kind of laughed it off in embarrassment, But and these women in this situation with Cuomo, they didn't laugh it off and turn it down in embarrassment. They stuck around for the most of the time.
Exactly. They were afraid, so-called, some of them will probably say, most of them would say they were afraid for their job. As for Meghan Markle, Brian, Prince Charles walked her down the aisle. Camilla Parker Bowles, both of them were very supportive. Something's wrong with me.
Okay, I watched the royal wedding with Meghan Markle. Do you know what did her in with the royals? Because Meghan Markle wasn't really, she kind of was passing. We talked about this before, right? You know what there's two things that did Meghan Markle in, because I watched the wedding on British television, and the reason I watched it on British television is they knew who all the different royals are, the ones that we don't know about, and they were going through telling you who the Duchess of, I don't know, Stratford-on-Avon is. I don't know, I just made it up, but they were telling us all who all these other, I didn't realize there's like 85 princesses, But anyway, there's two things that happened in the wedding. And you could see the faces on the children of the Queen's sister and Andrew's daughters. When the mother walked in, was the first time that the royal family really realized that she was black when her mother walked in. But that wasn't the biggest problem. They brought in that Chicago black minister that talked like Jeremiah Wright. Remember this? And they had the Archbishop of Canterbury. Yeah, they had the Archbishop of Canterbury go up with his proper British accent and do this thing. And then they had this black evangelical minister from the south side of Chicago come up with the most stereotypical sermon I've ever heard. And it was like Arsenio Hall is the preacher in Coming to America. And the princesses were laughing, and the royal family were covering up their face. And that's when everything turned. That's when the royal family was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, I turned it off because to me it was.
You know what I'm talking about? I mean, who did that?
I do. Yeah, but let me tell you something. Here's the rule. Just like the N-word, when you guys say it from being white, it has a bad connotation. But supposedly, when it's among two black people, it's a loving thing. It's the same with the question of color. If for you to be white and you ask that question, it's somehow derogatory. But when we ask that question among ourselves as black people, it's a question of are they down with us? Is it it doesn't.
Here's the thing with the N-word. Okay, here's the thing with the N-word. There are many words that I don't use, especially on the radio. In fact, I was reading a nasty comment that a listener left for me, and they used a little profanity that I can use on the radio, but I chose not to. So I choose my words carefully. But the thing about the N-word isn't about it's an ugly word, it shouldn't be said. The thing about the N-word, it became a way for black people to feel empowered over whites, to say, you can't say that word, you can't do something, and if you do it, you're out of society.
To me, it's always been embarrassing because
Well, I'll tell you what's embarrassing are the Grammys. Did you see those two girls with the twerking at the Grammys?
Let me tell you something. I don't even, the Grammys are such now, Brian, you can't even bring them up to me. I don't even watch them. Because the people there are, to me, they're totally depraved and degenerate.
Yeah. Hey, listen, we are so late for a break that I'm not even going to tell Steve how late we are. So we're gonna. But you're a great caller. You're a great caller. We'll be right back.
You covered AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Steve Kane Radio listeners love Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca.
I went over to Champagne Automotive, and I got to say that this man is the most fair mechanic I have dealt with in my entire life. We took a car over there that was not being used yet. You know, it belonged to my 90-year-old dad. Everybody I had taken it to before was charging an astronomical amount of money. But when we took it over there, Eddie took a look at it, and I got to say that this man fixed the car. It's running like a charm. Anybody that needs a mechanic, I strongly recommend Eddie, and he is just the best thing that's happened to this family as far as car maintenance goes. It's fixed. Bottom line, it's fixed, and the price was right.
Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca will never do a repair on your car that your car doesn't need. And their prices are low. Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca. Give them a call. 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show.
Steve Kane Show.
Toll-free. Dial 1-888-GO-KANE 1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE.
All right, we are back. Well, let's take 1 or 2 more calls, Steve. Then I got some audio I want to play for you. Let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Andrea.
Andrea, you're on. What's up?
So, I would like to point something out about Cuomo, because I've been in that situation before. They normally, men like Cuomo, they normally know how to read people and who's going to let them advance and who's not going to. So...
No, excuse me. Hold on. Cuomo, I haven't heard any allegation of pay for play, like Harvey Weinstein. Either you go out with me or sleep with me or you don't get the promotion or the job or you're fired. None of these people have mentioned, none of these women have mentioned anything like that. It seems to me to be a swinging single bachelor who's looking for a date or a hookup, depending on which one.
That's not what I'm saying. So because I've been in this situation before. Normally, they kind of, they read you. It's not a pay-for-play thing. It's a, who can I try this on? That's kind of like...
Okay, tell us, try what on?
Get handsy. Who can I get handsy with? Or try to sneak a kiss from? It's all, I don't know how to say it. It's almost...
Let me ask you something here. Slow down. I want you to slow down for a second. It's all this talk about power. Are you not single now? Are you married?
No, I am.
Okay. How old are you? What?
I'm 53.
Okay, 53. When you were younger, when you were in the era at the age where people go to bars and clubs, like right now here in Florida, we got spring break, right? Right. Okay. You ever go to a bar? You ever go to a club like these spring breakers are doing? Okay. So when a guy goes to a bar or a club like the spring break crowds and he leaves with his guy friends and not a girl, what do they describe what happened to him as? What did he do when he left without a girl from a bar or a club?
He just struck out.
He struck out. Why did he strike out?
Well, it could be many things.
Well, no, it was one thing. Why did he strike out?
He didn't try, or he just got shot down.
He got shot down. So who's more powerful when it comes to sex, men or women?
Women.
Why is that?
Because I hate to use this term, but like we're the carrot at the end.
Well, no, women, young, old. I mean, look at Cuomo. Some of them are young, some of them young, old, hot, ugly, fat, skinny, black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Eskimo can go into any bar and walk out with a man to have sex with him every day of the week, multiple times a day if they want, and men can't. So it seems to me the power is with the women, even in Cuomo's case, because he's been turned down by the women that we're hearing from. So I don't get this thing about power, not power. The women are always shutting the men down. The women have all the power.
But if you notice, so he's an older man, and he's going after younger women, right? And he's doing that because for the same reason that one caller.
Maybe not. Maybe he's just attracted to younger women. What type of guy do you go for? What type of guy do you go out with? Describe him.
I like a very well-dressed man. I like that old-fashioned value, right? So, that's...
Well, so that's your type. That's your type. Maybe his type is different. Maybe he likes younger girls.
A situation where when I was younger, an older men would approach me and kind of get handsy and grabby.
So then you turn them down. I mean, I got a friend of mine, a white guy that I'm friends with. We've been friends since we were teenagers. He's never been with a white woman. Every girlfriend he ever had was black, right? He's been married and remarried, black women. He likes black girls. That's what he's attracted to. I mean, I don't understand why someone's preference to the type of person they're attracted to is a negative. People like people for different reasons. People are attracted to, different types of people. I don't see why because we don't like Cuomo because he's a Democrat, all of a sudden his preferences, which seem to be very diverse because some of these women are older, some of them are not all younger. I don't see why
younger than me.
Well, because you're older, but some of them are in their 40s. No, Steve, some of them are in their 40s and some of them are in their 20s. So, I don't understand. You have a type, but that means why can't he have a type?
Oh, there's nothing against him having a type.
Well, apparently there is.
I was raised very differently. My mother sat me down and said to me, she said two things. You never let a man put his hands on you in anger, and if a man puts his hands on you and you don't want his hands on you, there's a time to be a lady, and then there's a time not to be nice. And that's the time not to be nice. And don't worry about her.
But you know what? Yeah, but you see, you're a conservative woman raised by a conservative woman with conservative values. We're talking, in Cuomo's circle, we're talking about Democrats. We're talking about liberal New Yorkers who have no boundaries. So in liberal circles, anything goes, right? I mean, men can use the ladies' room, right? I mean, we're not, So if you're being a liberal Democrat, in particular a New York liberal Democrat, like Cuomo is, and all these women are liberal Democrats, it's like going to a swingers club. I mean, everything goes in these circles, doesn't it?
Well, I think he just feels entitled. I just feel that he thinks, I'm the governor, I have the power, I have the clout. Who wouldn't?
You're reading too much into it. He's single and he wants to hook up. And he's approaching women that are single that he thinks will hook up with them. That's what single people do.
Let me ask you, caller, let me ask you a question. What we have seen the women who obviously have turned him down, all right? If we had a room full of women that Cuomo has come on to
that's right,
didn't
boss.
turn him down, that said yes, What do you think the breakdown would be? Those who agreed to have some kind of sex with them and those that didn't?
I would.
So far, we've only seen women who said no, right?
Right. But I also think that, like, all right, if this happened how many years ago, why are you just coming forward?
Well, some of them happened in recent months. Some of them happened in the recent weeks during COVID. See, caller, here's the thing. We're not. Cuomo isn't a pastor at a church who's hitting on women at the church or in a church group. He didn't. If you went, or he didn't go to CPAC and behave this way. We have conservative families, values, people. He's in liberal New York Democrat circles where there were no moral boundaries whatsoever. I think he's kind of mild sexually compared to what's going on in the Democrat Party today.
What's the answer? I'd like you to give me an answer.
What was the question again? Ask it again.
The question is, if we had two rooms, both filled with women who Cuomo came on to, and these that we're dealing with now obviously said no, how many women would be in the room that Cuomo came on to and they said yes?
A ballroom filled. Yeah.
5, 6, 7 women here that turned him down, and how many you're saying that?
Enough to fill a ballroom. Yeah.
I see. So we're not really getting a clear picture of what's going on, are we?
No.
Everything we're hearing from is women who said no.
See, caller, you're talking like Cuomo. If Cuomo, that's okay. If Cuomo were married and a conservative Republican, it would be different. There would be hypocrisies here. We're talking about a single liberal Democrat in liberal New York where there were no boundaries.
He doesn't think he's done anything.
Because there's no boundaries in those circles. He's in fact, he's mild and boring compared to what goes on in these circles.
Yeah, I see your point.
You understand what I mean? So that Now,
I think he's a little predator. He's power hungry, like the rest of them.
Anyone in politics is power hungry, except Donald Trump.
I agree with that.
All right, hey, listen, thank you for the call. All right, take care. All right, listen, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Do not go anywhere.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30
My
for
sinuses
most
are
cars.
just killing
Call
me
my good buddy Friendly
this
Mike
week.
at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on
All right, welcome back. It is 20 minutes after the hour. You know, Mike Lindell made an announcement last night on Newsmax TV. I don't know if you picked up on this, Steve, but did you hear it? Did you see Mike Lindell on Newsmax yesterday? No. Okay. Well, you know, here this is great news that Alan Dershowitz has joined Mike Lindell as legal representation. Alan Dershowitz has joined Mike Lindell's legal team. And, you know, the swamp is after Mike Lindell. They're after Mike Lindell like they were after Trump. And, you know, and like President Trump, Mike Lindell has us. And I don't mean just me and Steve. I'm talking about he has the entire MAGA movement behind him. And we are not going to let the swamp shut down Mike Lindell. And the best way that you can support Mike Lindell is go to mypillow.com, use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E at checkout, and contribute to what really, Steve, is becoming almost like a legal defense fund here. at mypillow.com. He is facing a major lawsuit, which you've heard about. He's got the threat of another lawsuit over the social media thing, and he's putting together this legal team with Alan Dershowitz for countersuits to protect himself and his company. The Swamp are after him, and they're after him pretty hard. Now, Mother's Day is coming up, and Mother's Day doesn't just include your mom. Mother's Day is for mom, your grandmother, your wife, and your daughters out there if they have kids. They're all mothers, right?
Mother's Day gift.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. In fact, I know some of you out there on occasion have believed that Steve Kane and myself, that we're mothers too, but that's a mother of another kind. But if you go to mypillow.com and use the promo code Kane, there is something for every mother on your Mother's Day gift giving list without a doubt. Now, they have this brand new item, and they've just increased the discount when you use the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. The MyPillow My Slippers, they come in multiple styles, multiple colors, and for both men and women, when you use the promo code Kane on the MyPillow My Slippers, 40% off, people, 40% off. That's an amazing, amazing deal. Every mom would love these slippers. Again, multiple styles, both men and women, multiple colors too. The 6-piece MyPillow towel set with the promo code Kane. Buy one set of MyPillow towels, get a second set free and free shipping. The MyPillow 100% Giza Cotton Dream Sheets. Buy one set of MyPillow Giza Cotton Dream Sheets, get a second set free. The MyPillow Premium Pillow with the promo code Kane, just $29.98. That pillow is normally $69.98, but with the promo code Kane, just $29.98. The MyPillow Pet Bed, my cat, my dog, they love that MyPillow Pet Bed. It comes in multiple sizes for whatever size pet you have, and also in multiple colors. And it's filled with that patented filth that's inside the MyPillows, 100% machine washable, 10-year warranty, just $19.99 with the promo code Kane. The MyPillow Throw Blanket, this is rather new as well. The MyPillow Throw Blanket is soft, it'll keep you warm, and it's very comfortable, 30% off with the promo code Kane. There are many other deals there too. The MyPillow Loungewear set, the moms out there I know would love this, 30% off with the promo code Kane. They even have, this is new as well, the MyPillow 2-piece pajama sets for both men and women. They have styles for both men and women, 30% off with the promo code Kane. There are many other specials there as well, with incredible discounts on all of them. But you've got to use the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at checkout. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. We're not going to let the Swamp shut down Mike Lindell and MyPillow. That is a fact. And you can help us by going there and doing those things. All right. Well, the calls keep coming, and I haven't even gotten to my show prep yet, but that's okay. There's tomorrow. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Good morning. I wanted to throw out an interesting idea about supporting Mike Lindell. I don't know if you're able to do it or not. What if you had a monthly contract audience, and those who purchased the most, your studio, or maybe, I don't know, you come up with something?
I don't know.
Yeah, it might.
That's not a bad idea. It might be a little difficult to monitor that and keep track of it, but it's an idea that I'll run it by Mike Lindell's people and see if it's possible. But I don't know if it's possible to do that. But we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah, great idea. Yeah, great idea. See how much support he has, Steve? This guy's got so much support, Mike Lindell, and he needs it. He needs it because they're really. I follow him in the news, and I'm so glad Alan Dershowitz has joined Mike Lindell's team. That means he's getting the best of the best. I just wanted to. I got a couple quick, because we got to take the next break on time because we went way over on the top. So this is a short segment, and it's my fault. My apologies, guys. But I got a couple of short sound bites I wanted just to get through real quick, and then we'll break, and then I've got something a little more. It takes a little more time than we have in this segment. Governor Cuomo's brother, Fredo, Chris Cuomo, on CNN, was talking. This guy's a lunatic. he was talking about Republicans and legislation that Republicans throughout this country are trying to pass right now. This was last night on CNN, and he said this. This is Fredo Cuomo.
Google Jim Crow laws in states where they existed and compare them to the language, the phraseology, and the intention of what's being sold in over 40 states right now, some 250 plus bills. Take a look and be shocked at the similarity.
Okay, now what he left out was what bills we're supposed to look at to compare to, and what he's saying is these are Republican bills, these nameless bills that he didn't reference and tell us what they were, and he didn't give one example of something from any of these nameless bills that is the equivalent to the Jim Crow segregation laws. So I talk about irresponsible broadcasting. But there was the one Republican who, I just forgot his name. Oh, gee, it's the daylight savings time. The Republican that wasn't worried about the MAGA people at the Capitol. He said he was scared of Antifa. Oh, what's his name? Do you know what I'm talking about, Steve? Did you catch this yesterday? Yeah, he was talking about it, and he was being all attacked for this. He said he wasn't scared when the MAGA people came in, but he would be worried if Antifa or Black Lives Matter came in. I can't remember his name. If somebody knows, give me a call. So Joy Behar over on The View was commenting on Antifa on The View yesterday. Listen to this is Joy Behar. She's sitting there with Whoopi Goldberg, ABC television, which is, and she's talking about Antifa yesterday.
He's scared of this fictitious idea of Antifa, a thing that doesn't even exist.
Antifa doesn't exist. That's The View. Antifa doesn't exist. Yeah, it doesn't exist. Yeah, that's right. I thought they did exist. Now they don't exist?
No shame.
It's crazy. Yeah, listen, those people that went in the Capitol were wrong. They're criminals, and they should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law based on whatever crime they committed when they went in. I'm not going to, and a lot of them were MAGA, they got carried away and did something stupid. But Antifa exists. I mean, I tell you, liberals just, does Joy Behar believe Antifa doesn't exist, or is that propaganda?
Oh, that's a great question. Is she delusional, is what you're saying?
Is she delusional, or is she pushing an agenda and covering for them? Antifa doesn't exist, Joy Behar. That's a good question. I don't know.
I think they create these fantasies in their mind. I think they're that far out.
Really?
They've lost sight of what's real and what's not real. I think a lot of these things they say, which are so outrageous, they really believe.
But is that insanity? What is that? Delusional? Yeah.
Liberal insanity.
Yeah. So so you think Joy Behar believes Antifa does not exist? It's a boogeyman.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think she's got it.
Wow.
In her mind, so that they're fictitious.
Wow. She's pretty far gone then.
Actually, she probably thinks she probably believes they're all conservatives.
This thing about Joy Behar, do you know what her role is on The View? Do you know why she's there?
No.
Okay, it's a panel of women, and each one of them has a different role. Okay? One of them, I don't know which one it is now. One of them's a newswoman. You know what I mean? The different roles. Joy Behar, I've never seen her do what the job description is, but do you know what her job title is, Joy Behar? Comedian. She's a comic. And her role on The View is to be the comedian, like Gutfeld on The Five, right? I've never heard her tell a joke. She always seems pissed off and angry, and she's ranting with liberal, lunatic things like that. That's the comedian. I know.
But a lot of it is supposed to be humorous.
Well, that's not humorous.
I think so.
No, I mean, Gutfeld, Greg Gutfeld, he talks about all the serious issues, but he throws in something funny. Exactly. Well, and you know that because he tells jokes. They may not all be great, but he tries.
Jokes and then stands and waits for the reaction.
I know. They're setting him up to fail on Fox, by the way. They're taking his weekend show and making it 5 nights a week. He's going to do a late night show. And I like Great Gutfeld. Don't misunderstand me, okay? But he's at a severe disadvantage unless they've made some tremendous change to his program that they have not announced yet. Because I heard this discussed when he started his Saturday show. He's doing a nighttime comedy show to compete with late night television that's on, right? Like the Tonight Show and all that stuff that's still on. And he's going to be like the conservative alternative to these left-wing guys. What they have that he doesn't is a staff of comedic writers. He doesn't have a staff of writers like these other talk shows do. You know, and these other talk shows, they have these clever things, you know, even Johnny Carson, you know, would have these clever things out of the news. They had writers.
He may well have one or two writers.
These other talk shows, these liberal jerks on all the other ones, they have like 15 or 20 TV comic writers. He might have a buddy or two and him.
One or two that are good, it makes up for it.
It's not easy. No, and well, there's another problem too. The top comedy guys don't want to be associated with Fox. So it's hard to find top comedic writing talent for Fox News Channel, and it's like him and maybe a buddy of his, as opposed to Jimmy Kimmel, who has 15 or 20 writers on staff, and they come up with different routines, and then they take the best of the 15 or 20 of each one and put it together in one big thing. So what I'm telling you is his show is set up to fail because it really can't compete with these other shows because he doesn't have the resources that he's funny, but he's not Saturday Night Live, John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd era funny, and he needs some writers. So I think they're setting him up to fail in that show because I know he didn't have a writing staff for the Saturday night show.
Just give him a couple of writers. That's no.
I doubt it because they would have made a big deal about it, and they haven't. Because he was complaining about this with the Saturday show a while back, and I haven't heard any. Oh yes, on the nighttime show we also have this great writing staff. I haven't heard any of that. All right, but I like him and I wish him well, but he's being set up to fail. All right, we'll be back.
Do you ever ask yourself, will I ever be able to retire? And if I do retire, how do I stay retired? Well, the good
Steve Kane Show.
Our friends at I Will Advisors, right here in Coral Springs.
What do you want to talk about?
Questions. I Will Advisors have a unique approach to
okay. I was just making sure you weren't Liberal Al again because he called in already. No problem. Hold on.
Debbie Klatzoff and Dan Frazier at I Will Advisors want to talk with you and provide you with an income for life report. This report will help you map out how to control when you can retire and make sure once you retire, you stay retired. Call Debbie Klatzoff and Dan Frazier at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080, 954-753-8080. I Will Advisors, your financial planning partners.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors, focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Hurricane season is right around the corner. This gives us only a short period of time to make sure your roof and home is ready for the 2021 hurricane season. So don't delay and call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Our website is www.laportacontracting.com, where you will find our latest video and live testimonials from a few of our past clients. Our number again is 954-604-4602.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for
All right, we're back. I'm Brian, Steve Kane here. You're on the radio. Al, good morning.
Yeah, not the other Al.
No.
Yeah. That's funny. I got confused on another, not related to this topic kind of show, but another show and they said, "Oh, I would have took your call sooner. We thought you were this other Al." But I don't think they're talking about that.
There are other shows? I thought this was the only radio show.
No, I'm saying it's a different topic type of show, not related to what we talk about.
It's someone does a talk show based on wrestling?
Yeah, on satellite radio. Matter of fact, I told a story.
No. Call in with what you called in about us. We don't need to hear about the wrestling, guys. I just thought that's a very limited topic. Anyway, what's on your mind?
Well, that's a couple of things. The Greg Gutfeld show that's going to be on every day, I guess, starting, I think, April 5th, they said.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be another show. Did they say it on Saturday? Because I know he comes on after Waters World and the other show. I think Judge...
I don't think he's going to be on the weekends anymore. I think it's just during the week at night. But you understand my point about not having comedy writers?
I get the point of that. And for 5 days...
See, a lot of people think, oh, Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Fallon, they got no talent. They just come out and say, Trump sucks, yay! No, there's a lot that goes into that, you know? And comedy is the most difficult thing there is to do. And doing a comedy show 5 nights, you know, when he does his comedy show on Saturdays, it's very good, but he's got all week to plan for that. 5 nights a week. And he's doing the 5. He's not leaving the 5, I don't think, is he? And so he's doing 2 shows. He doesn't have time. No, he doesn't have time. It's not. He's really. I hope they give it. He's got a team, but I haven't heard an announcement of it, and I think he would.
Now you have like a 5-hour block of shows, straight shows. It used to be. I think the other girl's going after him, and she'll be on at like midnight or something like that. They like repeat.
Who's the other girl?
Well, the one that comes on 11 o'clock, what's the name? Fox News at night with Shannon Breen, I think her name.
Oh, Shannon Breen, yeah.
Going from 11 to next show. I think she's going to be on at midnight. Then.
Oh my goodness! You know, she's such a good Christian girl too, and he's bumping the Christian to midnight. She's another one of the Miss Americas over there. I think she used to be a Miss America or something.
I get rid of the show, just have 4 shows. Maybe she'll be on something else like they've done with other.
No, I want Greg Gutfeld to do well, but this is the reason I bring this up, that they're setting him up to fail, is because the media don't want him to be successful. They don't want, and the media are going to start making comparisons between him and these other, you know, shows, Kimmel and stuff, and you can't compare them because they don't. He does not have the resources that they have. You know, who he needs as a writer is he needs to call Dennis Miller and find, you know, there's a lot of out of work comics. You know, stand up comedy because of COVID is stopped for a year. There's been no stand up. So there's a lot of comedians that are really desperate for work right now. So you call up Dennis Miller and you have him do some recruiting for some comedy writers. Tim Allen, he hasn't done stand-up in about 100 years. You know, I saw Dennis Miller in person maybe 6 times. And I saw him, this was really a cool thing. Hey, by the way, thanks for calling, Al. I saw him once, and it was a really cool thing that he did. It was here in Fort Lauderdale. He had his jokes written down on a yellow pad, and this was not a bit, this was true. He was putting together his new HBO special, and he was trying out his jokes on us. You know, and it seemed like a bit, but it wasn't a bit. It was really a thing. I heard him talk on interviews about how he does things like that, and Gutfeld does not have it. Did you see Tucker last night, Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you?
I don't know that I saw all of it, but I.
Did you?
Now with it.
Did you see the part where the lady got arrested at the bank? You missed that part? Oh. Yeah, I was telling you about this over the weekend.
Oh, I saw it.
Yeah. I've got some of the audio of it. I was going to play it. In Texas, Tucker talked about this last night, but and showed some of the video. A 65-year-old woman in Texas, the day after Governor Abbott lifted the mask mandate, went into a Bank of America, and she didn't have a mask on. And I watched the whole video. She was social distanced. She didn't have a mask on, and the bank manager called the police because she wasn't wearing a mask. And I watched the video. I know, and the police officer threw her down on the floor and really escalated the situation. And I mean, I support the police, but this cop was a punk. Did you see the video of how he acted with her?
Yes.
What did you think about it? What did you think about it?
Crazy. I think they're going crazy. I think people are going nuts.
Well, yeah.
In the talk radio that I've ever experienced.
Well, that lady, everyone but the lady without the mask did everything wrong. There's no mask mandate in New York anymore. Okay, no mask. I mean, in Texas anymore. She was in Texas. The bank manager didn't have to call the police. The woman was social distanced. There was hardly anyone in the bank, and they could have waited and just let her be serviced by the teller and let her leave and not make a big deal about it. So the bank manager escalated it by calling the police, and the cop could have said to the, I hope so. And the police officer could have told the bank manager, just help her, I'll stay here and make sure everything's okay.
When you say you hope so, how many lawyers do you think were watching that bit?
Oh, 1,000,001. 1,000,001. All thinking the same thing.
How many do you think yeah, exactly right. And how many do you think found a way, direct or indirect, to contact?
However many of them have phones, because it should be a big case. The police officer could have told the bank manager, listen, I'll stay here, make sure she's cool, just help her, we'll let her. But the police officer escalated the incident as opposed to de-escalated it, and it's pretty outrageous.
Acting crazy. The world has really taken a strange twist as far as I'm concerned. I've just never seen anything like this at all. People are actually going crazy around you. And you want to know what it is? When I first heard that I was going to have to wait, I don't know how long to see Donald Trump again. At first it sounded like it wasn't going to be that long a wait, but I got to tell you, I'm ready for the Donald to come back. This is depressing.
Well, he's back. They just don't put him on TV. Like he showed up at that Sarah Huckabee fundraiser. They just don't put him on TV.
I need more than that.
No, he'll be back. Well, this thing with the woman with the mask that got arrested in Texas, I'd like to hear what you guys think about this. We got a break, and when we get back, it'll be time for the Gold Report. But we got time for a couple of calls on this. And one of our listeners told me, Steve, that the bank had to call the police. They coming in without a mask could be, apparently it is in Texas. No, it can be used as a distraction by somebody while they come in to rob the joint. And one of our listeners told me that it can be used as something to distract people by. I don't know, but I think that the cop escalated things, was totally in the wrong, and I hope Greg Abbott steps up and pardons this lady. I mean, she's 65 years old. She probably never has had an arrest in her life, and now she's got an arrest record. It's outrageous, what happened. And there's a cultural shift going on. It's beyond the mask. It's do as you're told. Do as you're told. And what we're seeing with that, a lot of people, there have been endless discussions over the years that there's never been a sufficient answer to in any of the discussions. How did the Holocaust happen? And the Holocaust happened for many, many reasons, but one of the reasons is local officials went along with the outrageous rules and laws that were passed by the Nazis. And when I see a police officer throw a 65-year-old woman to the ground in a bank because she's not wearing a mask, my goodness, a year ago they called the police because you had a mask on in the bank. Now the criminals are the ones without the masks in the banks. It's crazy. It's because it's true, yeah. It's because bureaucrats and public officials like that police officer go along with whatever they're told to do. They're just following orders, so to speak. I'm not comparing what happened there to the Holocaust. I'm just saying the reason that the Holocaust happened, one of the reasons is because people like cops then didn't do the right thing, right? And just did. And by the way, that was the day after the mask mandate was lifted by the governor. That cop could not have been more wrong. Could not have been more wrong. All right, listen, we'll take our last break of the day. If you're on hold, stand by. After the break, it's time for the Gold Report, and we'll get right to that. Don't go anywhere. Steve Kane is here. I'm Brian Craig. We'll be right back.
You covered AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Hi, this is George Corey of the Soul Authority. In this time
Steve Kane Show.
Distancing and sheltering in place, many people have been forced.
Yeah, what do you want to talk about?
We at the Soul Authority are making it possible.
Okay, you'll be first up. Hold on. You'll be first up after the Gold Report.
To your house for all of your podiatric needs. The best part of all is that Medicare pays for this visit.
Keep making sure the trolls don't keep getting through.
Give the Soul Authority a call today at 954-597-7060. That's 954-597-7060. Don't let social distancing stop you from taking care of your feet. Call the Soul Authority today.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
Time has now come that you all wait for on the Steve Kane Show each day, the Gold Report, brought to you by William Youngerman of William Youngerman Inc. William, one of the leading experts when it comes to precious metals, really on the planet. He knows his stuff. He's been advising clients on trends and movements in the gold and silver and platinum markets. Shoot, how long? Over 50 years. And has been an advertiser here on the Steve Kane Show for over 17 years. And I hope you've listened to all the things he says and followed his advice, because if you have, you've got a smile on your face this morning. William, how are you today? How's the gold and silver looking?
Great, Steve. Looking good. Some of the markets are up dramatically, especially platinum and palladium. Yesterday we saw gold gain $3.20, closing out the day at $1,731 the ounce. Silver was up 31 cents at $26.24, while platinum was up $12 at $1,209, and palladium was up $27, closing out the day at $2,304. This morning we see gold got up a little bit higher, is right now at about $1,732. That's only up $1. But holding that nicely above $1,700 support, which we've seen. Silver, $26 the ounce right now, down 24 cents. Platinum up another $11 at $1,220, and palladium up $111 at $2,415. Signs of inflation are certainly creeping into the marketplace, and we're seeing some as a result of more concerns of political, economic.
You know, William, one of our listeners who lives in Washington State was telling us the other day on the show, she went out to her car to go to work in the morning, and she caught someone underneath her car trying to steal her catalytic converter, that there's a rash of catalytic converter thefts going on in Washington State right now. Is it palladium that's part of catalytic converters?
Yes.
Yeah, so that tells you it's going up. Listen, William Youngerman is open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5, located on the first floor of the Bank of America building here in Boca, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. If you want to give him a call, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010, and online, WilliamYoungerman.com. All right, William Youngman, we will talk tomorrow. Okay. All right, take care. Yes, Steve, one of our listeners, Debbie, there was a guy underneath her car when she got in to go start it up in the morning. Can you imagine taking off that car? She called the police right there. They came and got the guy. He had the saw in his hand. But it's Washington State. He'll probably not do a minute in jail. All right, let's go to the phones. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Good morning, Brian. Good morning, Steve. I'd like to talk about that bank issue in Texas with the mask.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Manager. Thank you, Steve. Good morning, man.
Thank you. $10 super chat. Thank you.
Yes, in lack of a better word, I mean, the bank manager's a mask Nazi.
Yes.
And I mean, for the cop's out of his mind. And I had to watch it right there because I don't want to curse on your station. This guy tackles a 65-year-old woman like she's some major threat for not wearing a mask, and especially after the mask is lifted. Like you said, Steve, earlier, 15 minutes ago, it's like a complete inverted logic of something that's happened. People have lost their minds.
Well, in my view, and again, maybe I'm wrong. I know we got a lot of police officers that listen to this program, especially in the overnights. Okay? Me, when I'm in a situation, no matter what it is, if there's a conference, it can be at home or on the street, you want to de-escalate, right? You know, and this police officer escalated something from a level 2 to about a 22 in a second, and I think he went in there with the intention on arresting that woman. I think, and you can hear by his snarkiness, he was very snarky.
Some people should never be cops, and this cop should never have been a cop. Okay, I mean, to run up to a senior citizen and do that all over not wearing a mask,
Well, this was at Bank of America, and, you know, I've been at Bank of America. They are crazy about the masks, and they have armed security at all the banks. And I've seen them get into arguments with people who come in without a mask. Sometimes people forget, and they leave it at home, or they leave it in the car. You know, it's not, you know, and yeah.
Real quick, I hate to change the subject. Did you ever read what it says on a box of masks? It's not right there on the box of masks. It says.
Well, I don't know. This is what I know. This is what I know. I do. Well, let me respond. Let me respond. You know, I have my mask in my hand right now. I'm not wearing it. I'm in a room alone. I wear the mask in the elevator, okay, because it's close quarters, and sometimes in public places you've got to wear the mask. My daughter's birthday is Friday. She wants to go to the casino. We got to wear the mask. I was at Disney World. I got to wear the mask. You know, I'll let you know after we leave the casino if we deserve congratulations. But the thing but you know, I know this about the mask. People have a controversy. This is the first. It's been a year. This is the first year in my life I have not had a cold or a flu. And all I've done, I always have washed my hands, but all I've done is the little social distancing in a mask. And I know a lot of people will say it does nothing. Maybe it doesn't. But you know, and in my life, I always get multiple colds, multiple flus a year. This is the only year I haven't. So why in all my years of life is this the only year I haven't gotten a cold or a flu? I don't wash my hands any more than and maybe a year ago I washed them more, but these days I don't wash them anymore.
If me and you went in the mask business, we'd have to put a disclaimer like on all masks.
The only thing I've done different, the only thing I've done different is I social distance and wear a mask in certain situations. Everything else I've done the same. My wife washes my mask every day. My wife washes it every day.
Why?
Oh, okay, so the mask works. So you're saying the mask works now?
But either way, it's out of his mind. And like you said, with your Holocaust reference, it's very, very close. They're going along with insane.
Yeah. Well, that's true. That's true. That's true in that case. There's no doubt about it. You're right about that. You're right about that. All right, hey, listen, thanks for calling. All right, take care. All right, hey, Steve, it's time to check in with Richard Pearl, whose show, Richard Pearl on Politics, follows the Steve Kane Show every day at 9. Always controversial. One of our listeners described the show to me as radioactive, which it means very exciting and explosive. Richard Pearl, good morning.
North American Spice Company. I have seen people who are having all kinds of problems with the virus, who were, sick. They were legitimately sick, and they took the oil of oregano, and it
Hey guys, as we get to the end, if you could like the video, that would be awesome. I got 12 liberal trolls that gave me a thumbs down, so if you guys could like my video, that would mean a lot and help a lot, if you don't mind, guys. Well, listen, real quick, because we're running out of time.
Yeah. Last.
All right, now listen, Richard Pearl's show, Richard Pearl on Politics, immediately follows the Steve Kane Show, weekdays at 9 a.m. on this radio station. So wherever you're listening to us on the radio or one of our apps, continue to listen. Richard Pearl will be up in just a moment. His store, Simply Natural, where you can get all the nutraceuticals he discusses, is located in Sunrise, just north of Sunset Strip on the east side of University. Open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. till 9. The number over there, 954-741-4045. All right, we're all out of time for today. Take care, Richard Pearl. And Steve, we don't even have time to say goodbye. So you want to say goodbye? That's it. We'll be back tomorrow.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
All right. So, guys, if you could like the video, that would be awesome. It would help all these liberals. I thought the show today was pretty darn good, if I say so myself. What do you guys? I think the show was good. Brought up some good stuff. I put all my stuff away at the end, and my headphone microphone, if you guys want to get a look. You'll see this microphone a lot. They use it on ESPN at football games. You'll see the field announcers. It's the same microphone, Audio Technic. It's a pretty good one, actually. I clean up all my stuff at the end of the show. No one else uses this studio during the week. Someone does on the weekends, but not during the week. All right, guys, that's it. Turn off the computer. All right, so I will see you guys tomorrow. Well, no, actually, later today, I got a new podcast coming. Don't miss my podcast. So make sure you subscribe, click the notification bell, and please like the video. That helps a lot. Like. All right, take care, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.